Alright. Looks good, looks good. Move that over. Get rid of that. Double check Twitch. Cool. Looks good. We got volumes. Yep. All right. NPCs are chatting. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We are still in degraded performance, so not holding my breath for a whole lot of success. Really hoping we get that hot patch today. Or hot fix, or what have you. I'm just glad that I'm able to get in the game. Was not expecting that. Still rocking our gear, which is nice. Last time I tried to pull out my whole C, it decided to come out with the caterpillar on top of it. They exploded. I died. Yo, what's up, Happy Camper? Hello, did you take the last couple days break from live? Well, not technically. My streaming schedule is, oh, from the live game though. Actually, or live streaming, one or the other. So my streaming schedule currently is still Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm messing around with seeing how much more I can do without going insane. But yeah, I kind of was forced to take a break from the live game patch because I got locked into a bit of a purgatory. So if anybody's experienced it, when you happen to die during a server error, you go into like an infinite respawn loading loop, which is not good. Basically, you get black screened and you can't do anything. I've let it sit that way for like 20 minutes to see if it would load in, and eventually I have to Alt F4. And then when you try to get back in the game, you actually get into a 30k timeout on the loading screen. 300018. 30018. Yeah. A 3018, which is just basically an account login timeout. And the last time it happened was on 401, I want to say. And I did several character repairs to no avail. It actually required them doing server maintenance, where they actually pulled all servers offline for me to finally be able to get back, because it kind of forced my avatar out of that game. I was essentially permanently shard locked to that server. Like, my character avatar was stuck in that server and I could not resync with it. This time around, I don't know. I think they did something. They did a little server maintenance because they had to fix some pretty grotesque issues that happened when they first released this patch. So I think that knocked me free, which is awesome, because here we are. And problem is, I'm pretty sure the whole sea is still in claim status because I never got to claim it in the caterpillar. So we're gonna do that. And hopefully get some mission testing in. I've heard mixed results of success with it. I'm not expecting really any success this morning, just because we're still on the same initial release, and it's probably really bad still. This is normal though. Like, I hope people don't get too discouraged. Like, it's kind of like when Tesla's FSD gets an initial update and we go through some teething where the cars are kind of acting a little weird when they're turned on, and then they seem to get better. Yeah, there it is. Gotta claim it. Ugh. All right. 15-minute counter starting now. Let me actually go ahead and set that on my phone. So this is like a teething patch, and then after a couple of hot fixes, it should really start to smooth out. This is nowhere near as bad as when the PTU first went up. 4.1 PTU first couple patches were atrocious. Alright, go ahead and do that. About 14.5 minutes. Alright. Let's see, is there anything else I need to retrieve or claim? Maybe my, oh, the cat actually didn't blow up. Are you kidding? Really? It survived the explosion. That's kind of funny. Yo, Commander Hober. I was trying the whole C. Went pretty well. Can't find the keybind to call the cargo box. Oh, all right. I got you, man. So check this out. When you go into your key bindings, wherever it is, keyboard, mouse, whatever, you're gonna go to flight movement, and then you're gonna scroll down. It's really close to request landing, like the hotkey for requesting landing. It's right under it. It's called request cargo loading. So default is right alt N. I have it bound to my stick, and I just double triple tap it, whatever, to get it to pop up. But yeah, it's request cargo loading right under request landing. That's the one you want to bind. That again is default, everybody, at right alt N. That is that magic button. Glad you've had a little success with the whole C, though. We'll see how it does for me. Let's see, I'm not sitting on all that much money right now. I got about 5 mil. Maybe we'll run over to Lurville, buy some attritions and stuff. Actually, let me see what all stayed with me. Yeah, man. Happy to help. That button's a lifesaver, because sometimes the MFDs and the going through F11, the actual comms can be a little weird. But it never failed in the PTU that I would double or like triple mesh that crap, and box pops up. I'm like, hey, there we go. And I guess we can maybe mess around with the golem for 10-15 minutes. That's not a bad way to spend our time, waiting for the whole C. And my hangar should be instanced and hopefully behaving. Hope everyone's had a decent weekend. I might be shifting my streaming schedule to being a little bit more frequent. We might go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, especially since Twitch is trying to get me to become an affiliate. So it'd be kind of dumb to leave that on the table, right? So might as well take advantage of it. As long as I can... Oh no! It did the thing! This was part of the problem. Ah! So, it's like a ghost version of my Caterpillar. Which, by the way, guys, this is the Deck the Halls livery. I always kind of like sat on it or didn't really use it because I'm not a huge Christmas guy. But then I put it on and realized, wow, that's not like Christmassy. That looks just like industrial as hell. And I like it. I like that green and red. What's up, Blackbird? So, dealing with a bit of a problem here. I don't know if I can... Usually you can't get in these. Oh my god, I can! Holy shit. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna do some troubleshooting. This is part of what happened on... Oh my god, what was it? Friday? Was it Friday morning or Thursday? Yeah, it had to have been Friday morning, because I would have definitely been playing. Or maybe Saturday. I don't remember, I'm sorry. Anyway, the reason that I had gotten kind of shard-locked out of the game is because this ship spawned on top of my whole sea. And, I still have the stupid ladder. Okay, it's fine. Maybe that's the bane of my problems, is my crooked ladder. But yeah, this thing, it's reflected as being stored right now. Because I had called my whole sea, and the game decided to spawn my Caterpillar on top of it. They blew up during a server error, killing me. Or like, this basically the server error was kind of going on in the background, hadn't fully manifested, and they destroyed me, and I got stuck in like a respawn loop. Now we're waiting because we had to claim the whole sea, but I'm gonna try to actually officially take off and land this thing. So what's nice is, and the last time this happened, like this ship that spawned unofficially was like bugged, like I could not get into it or anything. That was just SOL, man. But I was able to get into this cat, so it is properly registered as mine and not just bugged out. So we're going to take off and land and try to properly store it. Hopefully we get that option. That way we can pull out our whole sea. Otherwise, I'm about to park this sucker like randomly out here on the ground and do a little backspace action so we can actually try to test some whole sea stuff. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to go far enough away for... Well, the hangar should actually be closing. I basically want that to stop. There we go. It turned off. Cool. So, request landing. Yeah, this Caterpillar is not supposed to be out right now. Is the main weirdness of what's going on. trying to request landing. We'll see. But yeah, you know, I really do like this Deck the Halls livery. This very industrial green with that nice red stripe. You know, it's not the ghoulish green of the Drake ships that we love, but I dig it. I dig it. I might main this paint for a while. I might have to get a certain distance back for it to start to register me again. Alright. Maybe we take a trip up to Everest Harbor and go set our med spawn. That way, if shenanigans happens, we don't respawn on Lurville again. Be smart here. Full MFD flicker when I switched into flight mode. That's lovely. Would you guys recommend the Golem or Prospector for mining? Alright, yeah, so my opinions on it have changed. I am a big fan of the Golem, dude. It can basically handle the same rocks as a Prospector. That Pitman head that Drake put on the Golem is a Helix, bro. It's a Helix head power-wise, but it gives you more window. But it also kind of like adds a little bit of resistance and instability. But if you run that Golem with a Surge module and a Riger C3, you'll bust anything that a Prospector could bust. The only thing is you can't do the janky bag upgrade to it, so you're going to be locked to 32 SU of mining materials. But from my opinion, I melted my Prospector, guys. I full on got rid of it. The Golem is so much fun to fly. It's incredibly maneuverable, quick, and my buddy Kuz and I were out popping asteroids with it. And we were able to handle solo a 25k mass rock. It's a fantastic ship. I personally, being a bit of a Drake bias, and with my love of flying it, like flying the ships, man, the Golem feels like a sports car, where the Prospector feels like a pickup truck. It is so much fun. Just the fun of flying it alone is enough for me to recommend the Golem. But it has the same stock SCU loadout. It has basically a Helix head built in with 2 slots. You can run double Riger C3s, or a Riger C3 Surge, or a Riger C3 Stampede, and then a Gadget 2. That's the way I would go. I would go Golem, and then I would get a Mole for crew mining play. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. To me, it's all about whether or not you want to be... Oh, you know, that's a fair point. You know, Commander Hobo brings up a good point. The Golem is basically just a floating cockpit. There's no space to maybe take a drink or bedlog or whatever. In a ship the size of the Golem, and even arguably the Prospector with how long it's meant to be out mining, this is the way my buddy Captain Kuz and I think about it. You're not going to be away long enough to really need to worry about taking a drink of some fluids. You know, by the time you need to, you should already be back with some material you've mined. And, you know, so take a drink at the station or the refinery before you go back out. But yeah, bedlogging, that's a good point. You know, if you want to bedlog, the Prospector has a proper cabin in it. And currently you can put like Argo bags on the Prospector. We don't have any upgradable bags for the Golem yet. From a piloting standpoint and power standpoint, simplicity, the Golem to me is the clear winner. But for maybe, you know, in-game leisure and comfort as a pilot, having that bed space, having that separate cabin, and a little bit more storage space if you put like Argo bags on it for 48 SU, Prospector's got it beat there a little bit. So it's a little bit tougher. I would say if you can, to test drive a Golem. Get a little experience with it. Because for me, man, the way it flies, that was enough. I was like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. Alright, let's get in here. There we go. And I did turn off my speed limiter when landing, which I actually like. Because I'd rather be in control of my speed rather than it trying to put me down to 30 meters a second on its own. It's kind of nice if you have a problem with mitigating your speed, but it's kind of doing more damage than good for me. Alright, let's get in here. There we are. Should be all clear. Yep. Sitting pretty. Turn that off. Okay, cool, thanks. So I went to buy the golem and had a glitch before I could submit payment. Since it's limited, it won't let me try again. I'm trying CIG to help me out before the LTI sale ends. Oh, yeah. I hope they're able to get that rectified for you. I pretty much did the same thing once I hit the store, especially with how cheap it is, too. I dipped into a little bit of the ironclad funds, so to speak, to grab it. Because I just actually wanted to test drive it. You know, there's a saying in the car community, especially in the Tesla community, it's butts and seats, because a lot of people are skeptical until they actually get in and drive it. And same kind of thing I'd say for the Golem. Like once you get your butt in the seat and fly it and experience it, I was surprised. I just wanted to have it because it's a Drake ship. I was just gonna have it in my collection. I was not expecting to like it enough that I would actually melt my Prospector. That was. Yeah. I mean, the Prospector, I've said a couple times, my first love. It's the first ship I actually had bought with real money. So it was a little sad to see it go. I mean, I can buy it back in-game, which, you know, it's more the sentimental value. What's up, Lave? Golem is good if you have a base ship to fly from. A lot of them together will be nice, and she's very affordable starter for a mining career. Yeah, all good points, That's another thing, like, I am looking forward to the ability. Let's see. Yes, it registered so I can store it. Awesome. We got around our ghost cat problem. But yeah, the idea of having the ironclad and a couple of golems and such, and I really, man, I want a salvage counterpart to the golem. It's like same footprint, like almost same, like the Prospector to the Misk Fortune pair. You know, mining and salvage. I want a salvage version of the golem. I will probably never leave my ironclad, you know, until I am completely full of RMC from like salvaging out deep in Aaron's Halo or something, and the ironclad will be my base, and the Drake, what insert name here, will be there. I'll probably have a golem and the salvage variant on board. I really hope. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but I would love for them to give it the Misk Fortune treatment and make basically a Drake golem for salvage. Let's go set our med spawn. Totally feel you on the sentiment. Still miss my freelancer. Ironclad looks awesome. I'm really thinking about melting my MSR when it drops to upgrade to it. I just miss my red alert skin. Yeah, there's all these little things that we get attached to. I totally understand that. At least with a lot of things, you know, you can get buyback tokens in case you want to grab that ship back again in the future. Is it working to store ore pods on your buddy's cargo vessels? That I haven't played with. I haven't really done a whole lot with storing the ore pods anywhere. I've just been kind of doing like the classic go back and refine and keep going, because the bags have been a little weird. From what I hear, it works. They just sort of half clip into the floor and be a little sketchy, but I haven't done the testing myself. And Commander Hobo, I've not done the Hathor stuff yet. I eventually want to. It's kind of on my list of things to do. I might need to get the org together, or even get a group of guys together on the Discord server to go play with that at some point. We'll see. I do like that it's kind of a sandbox event that you don't have to commit to in like a specific mission order. Like you can just kind of go in and do it. But I definitely am going to let it kind of cool off for a little while, just given the server load. I had a feeling with introducing all this new stuff, especially like the orbital mining lasers and all the new fauna and NPCs and everything, that it was going to be a bit of a drag on the servers. All these features coming in, like Wicklow, the Banu merchantman guy. But I would love to get the special cargo, or not special cargo, but the special rewards that he gives for the mission, because I don't know, I'm not as enticed by the cash, but I am enticed by the unique rewards that he's got in his little shop. He's like a universal collector. Oh, cool. The Misk Whole Sea should be ready for us, so we're going to fly back down to Lurville in something fast. We'll just go ahead and deliver our car to all, because any excuse I get to fly an alien ship is kind of a fun one. Zip back down there and grab it real fast. I definitely want to get into the Hathor stuff and get more into the Star Citizen, you know, content-driven gameplay, because I wasn't as into it with the whole save Stanton, fight for Pyro, and we did the supply or die stuff, which is cool. Made a lot of money on it, and kind of saw the original, because I chose the Frontier Fighter faction, because the Headhunters, they had a really cool skin, but I kind of wanted to go with a slightly more lawful approach. But I didn't want to be a part of the CFP because they gave me like corporate union vibes. And then come to find out the Frontier Fighters are freaking terrorists. I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Yep, they totally got me with that same plot line they were getting everybody with. Probably a smart move. My group has been unable to get any laser work. It's been different steps that break, but mostly the last one. Yeah, it's in the PTU, a lot of people are having fun with it. I would often see in chat that, you know, people were losing their minds watching the laser go off and, you know, the little Valacar juveniles going nuts. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. I would probably think by hotfix number 2. I think we got 2 major hotfixes or hot patches or whatever in 402. I'm thinking after about that many here, it should be in a really good playable state. Alright. Wait till this opens. Actually, in a large hangar, I should be able to fully open this bad boy. Landing gear up. Let this thing do its thing. If this thing wasn't so under firepower, or underpowered in regard to firepower, I would fly it so often, but I don't know. I mean, just 2 size 4s. It's fun, and it moves really fast, and it's super maneuverable, and I love how the ship flies, but I don't know, it just does not have enough firepower when you're going up against things like Gladiuses and such. You just get shredded. But man, can it move. Its lateral strafe is still kind of slow. Pitch and yaw is pretty good. Wow, when you boost it, it's pretty nutty. Alright, let's get down to Lurville. Get to the main event here. Oh, gotta go to Hurston proper first. Moves quick. Holy shit.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
All right. Yeah, definitely a big pancake target. And these wings and stuff like to come off quick, man. I feel like it needs to be even more of a G-force monster, kind of like the Banu ships. And maybe double the guns, because it also doesn't have any missiles, dude. Like, I would rather have 4 size 3s, I think, than 2 size 4s on this. I think that'd be pretty sweet. 4 size 4s would be a bit much, but 4 size 3s. You know, because the Saber Comet's got 4 size 3s. I know it's technically, I think that might even be classed as a medium fighter. It's just such a cool design, though. And the Sentokyai here is basically underpowered as well. Like, this should essentially have the weapons complement that's on the Sentokyai. And the Sentokyai needs its own buff. It is cool, though. Okay, Tisa Spaceport chilling right here. And we'll see how this whole sea does. Hopefully it just comes out of the hangar without killing anybody. Over the laser button resets sometimes after 10 to 15 minutes. My group's been able to fire multiple that were left abandoned. Oh man, good good call out there, Blade. Good stuff. So you just might have to give it a little time to reset. Hey, what's up, Kuza?
Good job, buddy.
Just surprised that I'm not shard locked, so apparently the servers must have gone through some sort of maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're actually getting some sleep-ish.
Oh man, I'm fucking tired. Fucking tired, brother.
Yo, this is totally random, but have you ever played the arcade game Wangan Midnight Max Tune?
I have not.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm thinking about spooling up another YouTube channel around it. And everybody on stream here gets a little heads up about that. It's a Japanese-based racing game, kind of like Initial D.
Oh, okay.
Except you were always able to have like a memory card and keep the car you're working on. Because in Wonga Midnight, you upgrade your car up to like 830 horsepower. It's a really popular game. There's like tournaments and shit. You know, and they have them here in Florida. And I found them, and my wife went, "Oh fuck," because she knows how I would just like dive in to that game. But they have all your classic JDMs, but they started adding some German and American cars. Like I started building a 70s Z28 Camaro yesterday. But yeah, I just figured, you know, being a fellow car guy, wondered if you had ever heard of that.
No.
If you ever find it near you, just hide your wallet. Just don't do it. No.
I mean, I am a course racer. And I do go out to like Road Atlanta and stuff as well, but I've been seriously considering a full sim setup for something like that. Just so I can keep the practice without, you know, having to burn $2,000 on a set of tires every day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
There.
Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. It's been around for a long time. Why is this not opening? This is doing weird things. I see the missed call C there. It should be coming up, and now I'm panicking. Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. What's up, Mullet? Good morning.
You ordered your sticks from VKB. How long did it take to get in?
It was under 2 weeks. I remember it being pretty quick.
Can I help you, little Doge? Little hot dog?
Oh boy.
USDA approved bratwurst? Yeah. Oh, actually it's German approved bratwurst, but yeah.
I don't like this. This did a thing, and I hate when it does the thing.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
I might just. I'm gonna exit the menus. That'll be another 15-minute claim time. We're gonna see if we can just get lucky here, guys, and not put the whole C back in claim status. I swear this game just doesn't want me to pull out the whole C. All right. Let's go EU. Let's go to Wonderful Rendezvous.
Oh man, I got some PvP action in last night out at the OLP zone.
OLP.
Yeah, a line in mine.
Oh,
big laser beam.
Gotcha.
Bunch of solo Polarises fighting over nothing.
My biggest issue so far with 4-1 is tripping and then falling through the planet. Yes.
You know, out of all the games, I gotta say this, because Star Citizen, I love Star Citizen. It's one of my favorite games. I play the crap out of it. It's absolutely fantastic when it's fantastic. But the fact that we can't get simple, physicalized ground blows my mind.
At least maybe a good 500 meters of it that you just, there's no way you would clip through it.
Yeah, I mean, like, man, there's sometimes, like, you know, before Star Citizen, if I played a game and I fall through the world, I would just never play that game again. Ever.
Yeah, and here it's kind of, you know, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Arapataro, yeah, so actually that trick you're talking about to bring another ship up to store the one that you have, that's exactly what got me shard locked the other day, because I was trying to make that happen, and the game decided to not store and bring up both my Caterpillar and my whole seat together. They went big boom. I died. Server error was hitting at the same time and got perma shard locked until they did some server maintenance, and now I'm back. And actually, you might have missed it, but we spent the first couple minutes of the stream getting the Caterpillar up to Everest Harbor and setting our med spawn there, because the cat was still showing in the hangar, even though the game is registering it as still stored, and we had to claim the whole sea. And yeah, Blade, I would have claimed the whole sea at Everest Harbor, but we had already started the claim, and it's a 15-minute claim, which is really stupid for the whole sea, honestly. I mean, the reclaimer is a 10-minute expedited claim time, and it's double the price of the whole sea. So I don't really understand the logic there. But what's up, Mitchell? Servers are so-so. Is there any mission from Everest back to Magnus? Yeah, it's a little bit. Oh, for a whole sea, there's a really big mission from Everest to Magnus in the experienced rank. The member. Okay, so in member, you're gonna have to grind planetary drops to get through that quickly. Member has like one trip that actually takes you like station to station. If depending on what ship you're using, yeah, good old bugception. For this pet, wait till we get a hot fix, and then maybe you can use that same trick, arrow. I'm sure it'll work. But yeah, Mitchell, I got a video I need to put out. I'll probably put it out today or tomorrow. The way I do the member rep grind, and you can get through it pretty quick. It just the loading phase can be a little annoying. I don't know what you're running with. You can do it in a Taurus. You basically need a ship that can handle at least 150 or so SCU of cargo, because it's an 8-stack mission. It takes me on average about an hour and 11 minutes per run, but it gets you like a third of the rep bar filled each time you do it. Like it's in, because those 8 contracts all end up completing together, and it's a fast way to get through member. But you're gonna have to kind of suck it up and do stage. Like what I do is Everest to Hurston, because I get the same like 4 depots that never fail me, and I'm able to run through it pretty consistently. But yeah, unfortunately with member, it stops our reliable station-to-station transport grind, which is really annoying. Oh, you can totally do it in the C2 then. Yeah, go, my suggestion is do the planetary small missions at Everest Harbor that take you to Casillo, Farnsway, Sakura, Magnolia, and Tisa, as well as the one STEMS mission that takes you to the Kovalek Center. Now, there's specific ones, and I know I'm kind of dumping a lot of information on you. You want to look at the planetary small mission that is a 3-stop drop-off. Don't do the 4-stop drop-off, because that adds like 20 minutes to this stack, or to this sort of loop. Do all of the planetary smalls for 99k to 90k. Most, like 5 of them will be 99k. And they're going to drop off to 3 spots. And you're going to do 1 of each commodity, and this will get you to 8 missions. You're going to do aluminum, carbon, corundum, quartz, stems, tin, titanium, tungsten. Just those. And each of the missions will be to 3 drop-offs. But it'll be to one of those 4 stations, and the stems will go to Kovalek, as well as 1 or 2 of the other places. It takes like 25 minutes to load everything on, which in the whole sea might even be faster. I usually separate them by where they're going, and I personally do it like in an alphabetical order. I kind of get like really into it. But by the time you drop all those off, you know, that's 8 missions done, and then you can go back to Everest and run it again. And your rep bar, your experience will fly up. And not having any repeated commodities makes it really easy not to lose anything. Just make sure you have all green checks, like with any hauling mission, because sometimes the stations will actually eat your cargo, even if it says it's not going to take it. Like, it should just spit it back up on the elevator for you. But sometimes the stations say, nah, and they eat your cargo, and now you're stuck with a partial submit that works against you. So, just make sure you're all green checks when you drop them. I enjoy it, you know, get a cup of coffee, play some music, and just run those planetary stacks. And then you get to experienced, and the fun really kicks off. There we go. Okay, cool. We're going to go down to our hangar and just try to pull the whole sea up and spend the next hour seeing how she plays. Let's see, I had a few others in chat here I want to make sure I get to. Try going back up to the lobby and then back to your hangar. Sometimes it works. Yeah, that's a good point. I could have done that too. Trick to avoid the clean timer that doesn't always work. Oh yeah, retreat. We saw that. Cool. And then, like doors, planets are also just a suggestion in this game. Well said, Blade. I like that. Doors, elevators, the floor, the ground itself, whatever it is, you know, you just got to tread with caution.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
All right, Maggie, I need you to get out here. What?
Please
What?
visit us again.
You guys see this, right?
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
She's in claim status in my large hangar. All right. Damn it. we're going to have to do the trick to see if we can get another ship to pop up, because I can see her down there. I can see her serial number. Her non-identified self down there. I'm going to pull up the smallest ship I have, because maybe it'll die and the whole sea won't.
Welcome to the ASOP
Another
vehicle
tidbit
retrieval
of creative thought processing too is if you call something out in the lobby, wait like 20 or 25 seconds before you get in the elevator.
Yeah.
Because the second you get in the elevator, it starts bringing your pad up in your hangar. So if you spawn your boat in and you get the hangar too fast, it'll leave the boat at the bottom.
Yep. That, or you can, there's another trick that in previous patches always worked for me, which when you're, and this more so is supposed to apply when you're not at your home station. I don't know if that's still the case, but you call your ship, wait like 4 seconds, and then store your ship. And the station will grab your ship and put it back in storage space, but it'll keep your hangar instanced for you. That way you can go back down to your hangar to the proper ASOP terminal and then call your boat from there without any issue. At least I didn't have any issue with that. It's weird. I wish we didn't have to do these funky little workarounds.
to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Alright, let's see. So she's... Man, I might just have to call it from here. What do you guys think? Because she's appearing here as retrieve. This is my home station, so that hangar should be there and good to go. We'll see what happens. Kind of waiting on chat here. Let's see what Blade says. Because I feel like if I go back down to my hangar, she's just going to be in claim status again. Oh, the challenge of just getting this boat up to where I can actually fly it. Call it from upstairs and store it. Yep. Alright, let's do it, man. Worst case, you'll have to claim it anyway. Yeah, and then we'll just actually fly up to Everest Harbor and claim it there.
Vehicle selected.
Yeah, let's do the trick, you know? Let's do the claim and store trick. As long as it doesn't give me an instant... oh. If the ASOP terminal even registers.
Your vehicle
Okay,
has been
here we
delivered
go.
to the police
And...
station. Welcome to the ASOP
2
vehicle
Mississippi,
retrieval
3
system.
Mississippi, 4. Aha! Claim status. Alright, well, let's just go down there and see if it's on the pad, I guess. The Maggie C is like, nope, not today. I am not feeling it. Oh, boy. She is grumpy. This is why on all the live streams and any chance I really had the chance to in the PTU, I was like, hey, when this patch drops in live, guys, you know, be patient because it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, now it's not registering as a serial number or anything down there, which that, I think I'd say that's an improvement.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Oh, okay. Wait. Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's just call up the arrow and see what happens.
Your vehicle
Let's just get this stupid elevator moving. Is that her? Is she there? Oh yeah, she's there and the arrow is underneath her. Alright, last time I was way too close and she went boom. So I'm forcing this big girl up. We're gonna brace behind this wall. I'm telling you, Blade, I've had some bad luck with this ship on this patch. She's just like, I don't want to fly. Leave me alone. Go away. I figured bring out the smallest ship I can. That way, if one of them pop, it's likely going to be the arrow and not her. Look at this shit. Look at this, guys. What the hell? She exists. Oh my god. We're going to try it, man. We're going. We're going to just pop that elevator down and get in our drunk hole. Okay, she's coming for me. No, ma'am. Take cover. Yeah. Yeah, last time she went off like a frickin' nuke. Dad, she's a big old grumpy girl. The little arrow down there. That is a very unfortunate position for the arrow. We don't got to talk about it, but let's just say the Maggie C should be feeling a lot better. Yeah. Yep, as soon as we probably should have just waited and claimed this thing over at Everest Harbor. The elevator, yep. Alright, I don't know what's gonna happen. Fuck, run. I hit the elevator. Oh, I didn't even register. I'm running for nothing. Alright. Oh, God, she's... Damn it, come here. Come here. Oh, I hit it. Moving. I want to see what happens. Is the elevator going to prop it up? It's definitely going to hit the deck. Oh, this is the most sketchy thing I've ever done in my life. Okay. Come on. Yes, we're in. Let's go. Oh, jeez. I don't even know if this is... I mean, it let me on the ship, so it's definitely still registering as my, my whole C. I just want to get out of Lurville. The arrow did its job, my friends. At least so far. Alright. Come on, big girl. Let's power up. Let's get off the deck. Alright. Power systems are a go. No. You control yourself, lady. Woo! Oh my god, guys, we did it. Son of a bitch, we did it. Let's go. Thank you, Arrow. You, my friend. Oh, that's the hero of the story right there. That little arrow helped us get the whole sea up and out. Let's go. Oh, man. Yeah, we're gonna definitely hit a... What? Really? Guess the battle's not over yet, because now the hangar doors aren't going to open. Alright, let me take a look at chat, I guess, while we see what's going on with these main hangar doors. I'll do a light touch to see if it's actually there. Yep, that is definitely there. Lovely. We'll give it a sec. Let me take a look at chat. Good day. Are there any problems with the gunships this patch? Just bought a Star Lancer Max, equipped it with attrition guns, but for some reason, only the left side guns shooting, right side guns are not. Yeah, no, I am hailing it again. What's up, Rampager? So...
Take it out of staggered mode.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. If you have your guns set to staggered or auto-stagger, for some reason, attritions and staggered don't get along this patch.
You can...
So, yeah.
You can take it out of staggered mode and then put it back in staggered mode, and generally it'll fix itself. The other thing is reset your power pips, because sometimes your power pips can cause that problem too.
Yeah, Blade, it is fighting. I don't know. Try just mashing the hangar release. Maybe we might be going into a server error, which is why I'm not trying to do too much. Just let it do its thing. I mean, we also are definitely in degraded performance right now, so like I'm not expecting much. It's entertaining as hell. Just, I mean, I've got into the whole sea, so I'm happy with that. Just not really going anywhere at the moment. Yeah, every time you hear that little like electronic flicking sound, that's me trying to call. Let's do the classic MFD, or not MFD. The words fail me. So it's registering like it's actually fully going through. It's just not. Alright. Let's see. Let's pop a little bit over here so we don't crush the arrow. And drop our gear. I'm going to try to call the hangar from the arrow. Because why not? So I landed and now the doors want to open. In the name of Chris Roberts, what is happening right now? I'm just going to let that sucker open and then we are just going to vertical strafe out of here with a madness. Oh, Blade, you called it. Touchdown again on the pad. Yep. You totally called it. We are out of here. Alright. Tilt back, full boost up. We might actually get a thing or two done this morning. I count my blessings too early or anything, but... Alright. I'm just glad that we are airborne.
Landing gear up.
Thank you. Alright, why don't we go ahead and hit that Everest to Magnus, yeah, we gotta give you your flowers for that one. Blade called it, just land again. Game problems, expect the arrow, not the hull. Yeah, true, yeah. Freedom! I feel that. Let's get up there and just jump right into an experience ranked mission, see if we can transport like 4,000 SU of cargo. We're just gonna send it, man. Spent the last 30 minutes just trying to get into this ship. I will forever remember the arrow. Okay, come on, girl. You can do this. There we are. Alright. Go ahead and set our thrust vector indicator over in this general direction. Pop in. Get this contract going. 178. Oh, that's right. I'm senior ranked. That's why. Lovely. Filters, please. CIG filters. Just give us like a text-based filter, and that'll pretty much take care of everything. Just like with the nav system. Senior large. Should be down here. This one is the Terra de Magnus. That's 99% of the whole sea's capacity, which is awesome. We'll see if we can get to that one. And then this one, there it is. 4373 Everest to Magnus. Let's do it. Oh, hey, what's up? Yep, I am streaming on both, man. Good to see you on both. I'm using the beautiful feature of Streamlabs called multi-stream, so I see all of the YouTube and Twitch comments coming through the same place. Alright, let's go ahead and get our cargo loading request. There it is. A little rapid slowdown, get this baby spread out. Use those aft thrusters to get us moving in the right direction here. Splines are open, she is ready to go. Oh, I did the thing. Damn it. Forgot lateral strafing is useless in this ship, so we're going to have to back up. There we go. Alright. Quick correction. It's all good. It's all good. We got here. Let's go coupled. We'll do a little vertical wiggle to make sure we're stopped. See what happens. Everest is bugged for me. I'll be curious to see how it works for you. Stuck in the first second of cargo loading. Well, I'm not going to jinx anything, but I've got the grid popping up. Transfer paused. Alright, hang on. Let me give it a little wiggle. Stop there. We are stuck, it appears. Let me hop out of my seat. Credit to the man who's on the stream with me, Captain Kuza, for this little move. Make sure we're all properly synced up. Let's see. What are we looking at? Oh, I think that's where it jacked up. It put the small boxes first. Okay. I think that is our problem. So as long as it doesn't try to impound us, I'm going to pull those small boxes off. Occasionally this happens. It needs to do these boxes last because I think it's trying to drop 32s down and it can't because these stupid small boxes are in the place where the 32s are going to be. Now, last time I tried using the ship's tractor beam from in the armistice zone, I wasn't able to do anything with it. We'll see if it works. I might have to go out there with my rifle. It's also whether or not the stupid station police get mad and try to impound us. Oh, son of a... I'm in flight mode. Damn it, hang on. That's... Man, tractor beams should not be locked to your weapon system. It's the most annoying thing ever. I gotta go down here and put myself out of flight mode and into SCM. That way I can use my tractor beam. Yeah, that sounds... Or that... Blah, 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 blah. Terra de Magnus worked, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're so right. I dropped the ball there. Alright. Let's go back. There we go. SCM. All the things we do as whole sea pilots, just to get a couple of boxes that pop out of our ships. Might as well call us cargo engineers at this point. Yishan, what's up, man? Guns, flares shouldn't be locked out when in nav mode. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, dude. It's already bad enough that your shields are gone. You have to pop out of nav mode into flight or SEM mode to pop your flares, which slows you back down to like whatever your SEM speed is, and then go back into flight. Yeah, it's a mess. I agree. Definitely needs a little work. Alright, let's see here. If we can get to the correct turret. Alright, well. Yep, I can't use my stupid tractor beams. Damn it, this never works right. Alright, we're going out in the rifle. Here, Pro, what are the other crew members supposed to do in the whole sea during whole sea missions? Yeah, essentially, Blade's got it. Just play some chess. Stare out at the beautiful void. Maybe rock, paper, scissors, who has to go out and shuffle cargo like we're about to. Alright, get out of here. Let's come on. Come on, get off the damn thing. Thank you. You come over here. And you too. Get off the grid. I have no idea that this is actually going to work. Come on. Let's go. Come here. All 3 contracts have tried and failed. Yeah. We're going to need some love server-wise. There was a couple of guys. I think Smeek was one, and Hector, they were saying that they had really good success at the initial release of the patch, and then things just kind of broke. Which, that makes sense with the first release. It's going to be a little rough. Alright, I'm going to see. I'm going to give it a little wiggle and see if I can restart the loading process with those off the ship. We might actually have to exit, grab another cargo box to try to load again, and then just remember to find those and pick those up before we leave. Oh. While we were out. Sweet. We're loading. Awesome. Now, problem is we're going to end up getting hit with an impound fee. So I wonder, can you see the loading grid from outside the ship when it comes back? Because if so, I can maybe quickly throw those 3 back on and then dip. I don't know. I also don't want to preemptively put them on some of these empty spaces because this is going to be damn near a full load. So we're going to have to see what spots are going to be open. But yeah, alright, pulling those off worked. We're loading, so we got a bit of a workaround there. Oh, so it was you, Deshaun, posted that you had good results first day and it went downhill second day. Yep. That is right. It was on the Discord. Appreciate you, yeah. So this is working, you know. This is something I've mentioned that I haven't actually been able to show you guys on the PTU, that if it messes up and puts the smaller boxes first, you likely have to get them off of your ship so it can load the rest, because they're basically sitting where it wants to put the 32s, and it just gets stuck in a loop. So who else was it that said they were having this issue? Arrow Pitaro, if you get a chance, man, next time, pay attention to that. See if it's the smaller boxes that get put on first. And if you get the chance to yank them off and see if the rest of your ship loads. Now, our trick here, we're going to probably have to get just far enough away not to get impounded, and then maybe EVA to these boxes to put them on to continue. I know it's an annoying workaround to go through, but it might just be what it is, you know? Let's see. I had the same. I posted the Reddit thing about taking the cargo off also. Hey, awesome. Sweet, man. Yeah, you know some stuff. You've been doing a lot of workarounds too with this stuff. I had heard from somebody back, I think even before the 4.0 days, that this was kind of an issue. Like they had to regrid stuff to get it to work. And then it just made sense. Like putting on the small boxes, you're going to block the space for the big ones. But we're having a little success loading here. It'll be a bit of an adventure to see what happens. It's weird. The loading logic is strange, man. They're like putting the outer edge on first, and now they're loading kind of internally. And then we're now EVAing. So that's cool. That just happened. Did they just impound our ship? Hey, there's a Connie. Bye-bye, Connie. I have no head. Oh my god. Where has my head gone? I need to put like a graphic warning. This is insane, dude. Oh, there it is. We're back. We lost our head for a second there, guys. So yeah, this is cool. Are there external pads here I can eventually get to? Oh my god, at this speed and distance, it's going to be faster to suck vacuum. There's a pad over there. It's going to take the rest of the stream just to get to it. Oh, let's see what the chat doing. Overall, whole C is not so bad. I enjoying it. Just bought a C2 for cash. Not sure I want it now. Is that auto-loading? Chris got your ship. Yep, Chris took my ship. We are at full RCS speed. It just really shows you the distances you try to cover when you're flying out here on your own. There's another whole C down there. Oh, you brave, brave soul. I wish you the best of luck in your adventures, man. He's got one little box on his ship. Yeah, so hopefully we can get back here to our random hydrogen. Yeah, we're going to have to just suck vacuum. I'm glad that I made this my respawn, because I'm not about to wait that whole time. They were crazy, dude. How'd you get the auto load? They unloaded the ship all right. Pad in the middle. Yeah. Headless Star Citizen. That would be enough SC moments for today. Yeah, I'm just really glad that we can just get back out there. Hopefully it's just stored probably an impound fee is what I'm guessing. Because the station police got overzealous again. That's another thing, dude. They need to kick out... They need to fire the whole station police crew. The impound crew, the parking police, whatever you want to call them. The mall cops that are watching the cargo areas. I'm waiting on the ironclad, but if it's loading boxes, I'm not interested. Yeah. That'll be an interesting one, man. I'm going to do all that testing too. Like, how long does it take to load the ironclad? What's it like using it with that much cargo space? Alright, let's see. Do we have an impound fee? Oh, and back to you, Techno. So, auto-loading for the whole C. You just request cargo loading. And, no, it's just showing that it's stored. So confused. Right now, the whole C is the only one that uses the grid like that. Where you'll auto-load stuff on for your contracts, for your commodities. And it's under the Request Cargo Loading tab, which I'll show everybody who's curious. I was able to help out Commander Hobo with this earlier this morning. Go to your Keybindings, go to Advanced, go down to, or, well, for me, up right now, to Flight Movement. You're going to scroll down to Request Landing and Request Cargo Loading. They are right next to each other. And you just want to make sure you bind it. It's defaulted to right Alt N. You hit this when you're over the cargo center in your whole C to get the grid to pop up. I have it bound to my stick, and I mash the hell out of it, and it works every time. As for what's about to happen, let's see. The whole C should spawn at a docking collar with all of its cargo. You know, in theory. Yep, docking port 1. We're just going to continue this adventure, man. We're going to keep going. Yeah, it's more so the state of the 4.1 patch. It just dropped, Techno. The stations can be a little weird when there's any kind of desync and you've been sitting there for a while. I'm actually surprised. It doesn't seem like it was the station police because we didn't have an impound fee. Sometimes when you're sitting there, even legally, you all of a sudden get a countdown that you're blocking a flight path and your ship gets impounded. And it's really frustrating. And it lied to me. This is not where it is. Let's try cargo 2, I guess. I saw docking port 1, right, guys? I'm not crazy. Oh, well, there is a big, beautiful Polaris at docking collar 2, so it must be docking collar 1. It's just not showing. The ship's not even, like, on screen anywhere. Go back to the terminals and see what happened. It's hard to say, because it appears that it wasn't actually an impound. Yeah, no, it's not here. We got to go back to our ASOP terminal and see what the heck is going on. This just feels like this feels like Chris Roberts saying you can't fly your whole sea. Honestly. Alright. See what happens. Check it out again.
ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Is it in whole? Nope, now it's stored again.
Vehicle select. Your vehicle has
Docking
been
port
delivered to
1.
location. ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Let's just check again.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Stand by.
It's just not pulling out. It's like stuck in the station.
Hey, brother, I've got overtime tomorrow, so I will catch you later, man.
Alrighty, man. You get some rest, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, brother. Take it easy. Good luck on stream, brother.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so this is great.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle
Guess we'll just keep on trying to see if we can get this sucker to pull up. Maybe we just need that Polaris to leave. And we can't do our Alt F4 trip because it will put the whole sea in a closed state, and that just creates a whole new world of problems.
Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following. Please visit.
Man, this is really unfortunate because we were making some progress. I know it's not registering that it's even there, but I kind of want to see what happens if we go back. Yeah. I wonder... I mean, it's not in a destroyed state, so like I don't mind. You know, it's not like we're losing a whole lot by having to start the mission over. And hopefully it's just in its, like a good use state from here. Part of the testing, you know. I think I'll go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and back to menus. And we are going to lose the contract. I'm curious if it'll still have the cargo on it. I'd venture to say yes. So we'll have to yank that off before we do the next mission. But at least we're already at Everest Harbor, so could be worse. Curious what you mean by, or why delivering the M50? Alright. We'll leave that alone. I'll hop back in. Oh, it's the same server. No! I hate when it does that. Give me a different shard. There we go. Stupefied warming. There should be an ASOP in the docking port area. Yeah, you know, that'd be a nice little quality of life improvement. I agree, Mr. Fields. That'd be cool. Gonna get the whole E. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna drop 750 US on the whole E right now. That's for sure. We don't even know when the whole C is gonna be a thing. Like it's just a promise. Like I already did that in the Ryland. I've got that on order. Of course, that was about half the price, a little bit less than half the price of the whole E. I would eventually love to use a whole E, but I don't even think we have any plans to see the whole B coming in. So the station has to store the hull correctly because there's another ship. Oh, shit. Okay, Blade. You know, thank you. I will remember that for future applications. Let's go see what's happened to our sea. Oh, a little immersion breaking as far as the ASOP terminal being at the docking port. I actually don't like how the whole sea docks and just opens its door. Yeah, I agree. There's a little bit of lacking of ship security there. Every time I'm like, yeah, maybe we should have that closed. All right.
Welcome to the
Let's
ASOP
see what it says. Okay, it's there.
Your vehicle has
Docking
been
port
delivered
2 is the one it
to
normally
the
likes.
again.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's actually there now. Maybe not. If it isn't, then we'll try Blade Strike. Oh, yep, it spawned. Cool. So if I had to guess, we're going to have to, oh, damn it. No, see, this sucks. It's going to be in a closed state. Bro, what is 150k cargo? I can't imagine that in-game anytime soon. Yeah, it's like 96k cargo or something crazy. It's insane. It's a lot. A reason to even transport that much cargo, I feel like you would need several solar systems and it be like a cross-system crazy kind of hype. Oh, actually, shit, yeah, we might be okay. I guess since we're spawning in a docking collar, it's not going to be in a, I don't know why I keep saying collar, docking collar. It's not going to be in a closed state. But yeah, we are going to have to strip all this crap off of the sea. Which we might be able to actually do right here in port before we even get moving, because we're technically... legally docked. So I am just going to head aft. Whoa! Really, Chris? Really? What if 1.0 comes out shortly after Squadron 42 comes out and Chris Roberts had all this planned a decade ago? I mean, I think Squadron 42 coming out is supposed to be when 1.0 does come out, though. Right, guys? I'm sure that's pretty much the plan. Or at least that was kind of the hope. I'm looking forward to Squadron 42, though. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we just went black screen kind of randomly. That's all how rough. I know. Blade, you have got to be enjoying this. So, there's one thing I can promise you guys. As a streamer, like, it's going to be laughs. And just kind of enjoying this kind of stupid shit when it happens. Because it doesn't do any good to get mad at it. Because, I mean, we know what we're here for. We know this is Star Citizen, you know? It's great when it's great. And then it's hilarious when it decides to Star Citizen. So it'll always be in good fun and testing. I view this in the same way that I do the FSD testing in my car when I'm testing out new patches. You know, it has issues or makes mistakes or whatever. It's part of the experience. So you don't have to worry about me becoming one of those salty guys that just gets mad and starts trash talking and throwing a temper tantrum like a toddler or anything. I think, well, it's supposed to, Techno. Squadron 42 is supposed to be a 2026 thing. Pretty sure. I feel like we got to apply, like, Elon time to Chris Roberts when it comes to Star Citizen, though. It's like, full self-driving will be ready by the end of the year, and it's been said for, like, the past 5 years. Squadron 42 is supposed to come out next year. We'll see. It's been in its final polish state for, like, the last year. So we'll see. What's up, Commander Hobo? I was disappointed when they said 2026 release. Yeah, I know. A lot of us really want to see that thing in action. We need to do a This Is Eve trailer remake for SC. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Are we going to be forced to Alt F4? That'd be a bummer. I got music in the background, which y'all can hear, but apparently we went into the whole sea and blacked out. So something was up. Somebody didn't change the filters on the whole sea. No, we were in our suit. That wouldn't matter. Yeah, we ran out of oxygen. I don't know. We blacked out, guys. Lucius, curious question. I'm working my rep for hauling. Is there a way to speed up the rep building? As in, do certain runs give more rep than others? So, the quick answer to your question is to stack contracts. Because, you know, you get experience per contract completion. And to try not to mess around too much with contracts of a previous rep. Like, if you're a junior, don't waste your time with rookie. Try to stack junior rank. Or same with member. Now, in my experience, and people have different ways of doing this. Like, they'll run Lagrange points or station to station back and forth. And that seems to work pretty well up until you hit member. Once you're member, you're going to have to do a planetary stack grind to get through member quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be doing that one station transport mission forever. I am going to get a YouTube video out either today or tomorrow. I'll try to aim for it today, guys, so that way you can see it, because it seems like it's going to be increasingly more important for rep grind. So, if you can't, Lucius, you're on the YouTube. If you subscribe and then just look out for a video coming soon, it'll be the Caterpillar, and it's going to be member hauling grind or something to that effect. I haven't figured out what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm basically going to do a voiceover showing you me stacking 8 contracts and how I run it, and how you do that like 3 to 4 times, and it gets you to experienced. And you can apply the same logic to rookie and junior, because you can stack in a similar way. It's just, you know, lesser quantities, lesser payout because of the rank you're in. But that grind. Oh, you just hit member. Perfect. I'm the guy for you, bro. Hell yeah. So, yeah, keep that. I'll give you... Taurus is actually perfect, too. What I do fits in a Taurus. It's just not quite as organized. And since we're on black screen, I'm just going to give you the quick rundown. So, I do it at Everest. I go to Everest Harbor, the station, and you're going to grab up 8 contracts. They're all member planetary small. You want to do the ones that have 3 drop-offs, because there's going to be basically duplicates that do 4 drop-offs. Do the one with 3. You're going to get like 5 missions that are 99k, and I think the other 3 are 90k. and they're each one commodity type. Aluminum, aluminum, carbon, corundum, quartz, stims, tin, titanium, tungsten. You get each of those. And then you'll be dropping off to HDPC, Casio, Farnsway, Sakura, Sun Magnolia, Tisa, Kovalex for the stims. You'll see all those as your drop-off locations. So you'll get all those together. What I do in the Taurus is I put the place I'm going to last in the very back away from the tractor beam. Because I like to do this. I basically hit it alphabetical when I start dropping stuff off. So I put everything for Tisa Spaceport in the very back of the Taurus. And then I cram everything for Sakura in front of the Tisa stuff. And then Farnsway in front of that. And then Casio drop off in front of that. And then the Kovalex stims at the very front. And you'll pretty much fill up your Taurus bay. Because it's going to be about 150 SCU. So it's going to be pretty tight. And then you hit the places you're dropping off in alphabetical. Oh my gosh. We waited long enough. So you'll drop off the 2 or 3 stims to Kovalex. Then you'll go to Casio, drop off that load. Then Farnsway, drop off that load. Then Sakura, then Tisa. And that's 8 contracts you'll complete. And that'll give you like almost a full third or maybe even a little bit more of the member rank experience bar. You do that like 3, maybe 4 times and you'll be at experienced rank. Now it will, especially your first time do it, it might take you a while. I average a little over an hour when doing it. If you get really fast at the Taurus tractor beam and you're really good at organizing, you might be able to do it in an hour. But I would expect an hour and a half your first time doing it. But that's what I do. All right. I like the Caterpillar for multi-drop-offs because of the separate compartments. That's exactly why I use the Cat. Because I got those 4 drop-offs, and we got 4 main bays, and then I can put overhang stuff into the bow, which is fine. Actually, the video is going to be of the Cat and how I do that for that exact reason. Molokai, my grind game was Freelancer Max doing Planetary Small from Baijini to Riker. You can do 7 different missions at once. Yep, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. It's member, Molokai? 350k for a single round trip and 8 contracts. And yeah, the one I'm talking about will net you 750k or so, because it's about 100k per stack. A little under. So 750, 770k when you complete the 8 that I'm talking about. I've never seen someone recover from a black screen like that. Yeah, you know, I guess the trick was to be able to talk about hauling contracts while here on stream. So let's see. Let's see what else happens. Rookie missions, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, no, that's perfect, though. That's really good for rookie missions because that'll blitz you through rookie missions really fast. That's a good call. I like grinding the planetary contracts because I just enjoy that kind of gameplay, man. I'll put on some music. You know, some classic rock or something, like a soundtrack from Supernatural. You know, boys are back in town, cup of coffee, some snacks, and just get the space trucking, man. I love it. I'm going to do a lot of that. All right, let's see. The whole sea is here. We're going to try this again, man. Oh, no. Docking port 1. Not docking port 1. Did it even spawn? It didn't. All right, we're going to try Blade's trick. We're going to call the M50.
Welcome to the A-Sign vehicle retrieval system.
Just because it's here.
Vehicle
Oh, wait. No. It's giving me a store option. I think it might actually be a docking color 1. I was stacking Baijini to Sal 2 and 5. Got like 6 juniors and 2 rookie contracts, getting me 200k. And it was just to Baijini and Yella back basically. Yeah, there are a lot of really great options actually before you get to member, and then with member, it just kind of drops off. Like I think you have like maybe 1 station to station kind of a mission. Yeah, the whole sea actually is a docking color 1. Holy cow! All right, you think we're gonna black out again when we get inside this thing? Still has all the cargo. Okay, that was a really loud door sound, and didn't like that. I'm of the mind that the Maggie C is haunted again. She's been haunted by the ghost of Chris Roberts. I had a new friend in chat in the PTU, Medrin. He'd be like, so the problem is you're having too much success with the whole seat, and Chris Roberts really doesn't want you to fly it. It would just like keep throwing problems back. What the hell? Oh my god. we just can't, man. The whole sea's cursed right now. Instant blackout the second we get back on the whole sea. Oh, dude. What? It was like 75 SU total, really handy. Yeah, so for the member stack one that I was talking about, you're going to have about it kind of varies. It's usually around 150 SU or so, but it's good stuff. Yeah, man, you know, I think the last like 15 minutes of a stream, we might just go hop in the golem and go mess around, maybe do a little mining. We were on EU servers earlier, Blade. That's where we were. I just went back to US when we popped to menus with the last issues we were just having. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the EU servers. Typically, if I'm having trouble in US, I go to EU because the game likes to put you in the same shard over and over. And certain shards I like to avoid, which I haven't even kept track of what shards we're going into. With our luck, we've been going into like US or EU 10, 010, you know, the cursed servers. So they say. It is what it is. I definitely am going to wait it out again because I don't want to shard lock myself because these black screens are kind of the bane of my existence. And we know that apparently it will reposition me back into the, the hangar. Maybe it's because we're waiting so long that they like impound the ship or they just store it again. Yeah, US should be sleepy time. Yeah, I'm the crazy guy that's up playing Star Citizen from 3 to 5. And, you know, I figured, I don't even normally stream on Mondays, but I was like, you know what, let's hop in here. We're at Degraded Performance. We haven't gotten a hotfix yet. Let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get into with the whole sea. It's been an adventure. Yeah, I do plan to make like a funny failures compilation, like a well-spirited, like a well-meaning, good-spirited, for laughs kind of failure compilation of the whole sea. And this is just content that can go right into that. You know, just all the times we try to fly the ship and she's just mad and mean and says no. It's one of the reasons she got the name Maggie C, Maggie Carpenter, runaway bride. You know, she's always trying to get away and make things difficult. It just fits. But how have, I know some of you talked about your experiences in the new patch, and it's been hit or miss. I know Commander Hobo is having issues with the Hathor Align and Mine event stuff. I'm looking forward to eventually doing that and getting my hands on some of the goodies from Wikilo, the Banu guy. It's really cool to see there's actually an alien in game. What's up, Ludovic? How's it going? Just waiting here on a wonderful black screen. We only got about, 15 minutes or so before I need to start getting ready for the gym. I might not, though, because I think my wife said she was going to sleep in. We had a really, really busy weekend. Just a lot going on. We found a really cool arcade that has Dance Dance Revolution that she loves and has a Japanese racing game that I love called Midnight Maximum Tune, which I might spool into some more content. It's a really, really simple YouTube channel just showing racing in that game. It's a lot of fun. Klaus, whole sea derps should not be hard to find content. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be plenty of funny moments in the whole sea. I just really hope that we get a little bit of a consistency and success that I got out of the PTU, because man, was that glorious. We did like 7 really big contracts in a row on one of the whole sea streams, and it killed it, man. 7 back-to-back experienced rank, just making that money. A lot of mine is fun. We have almost enough for the super ship surprise now. Hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's interesting because we got the Valacar juveniles in there now, the little worms. And eventually we'll be getting their full-grown adults, which will be wild. Bring a little Monster Hunter spirit to Star Citizen. That'll be sweet. Because I think the only like in-game creatures are those weird... They remind me of Rex from Borderlands. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. The little like rabid dog things that I've seen in a couple of videos. Or at least streamers and such. I think Evenly's had a video where he was getting attacked by it. And he's like, great, now I have to be worried about massive space rats or something. Then we got the sandworms, and we got the grazers and pyro. They're like kind of like cows, I guess, are the best way I can describe it. That herd, or they graze along the planets in pyro. I'm having trouble finishing a mission. I don't have luck, I guess. You're trying to do the Ludovic, you're trying to do the Align and Mine, or which specific mission? Because we've been having a lot of issues trying to do whole sea missions this morning. That's for sure. I mean, even just one mission. It seems like for every workaround and success we were making, there was like, whoa, can't do that. Let's do something else here. Something caught my eye on my Discord, but I think it was actually just a little green screen from me chatting. Come on, Star Citizen, we made it back. You know, are we gonna get 2 black screen recoveries? We might not. We might have got too lucky the last time. Yeah, we're just, this is the best stream ever, right? Black screen, chatting. Some good music in the background. Yeah, whole sea missions. So, one little trick, you know, we discovered still works today if you're having that issue. If you're doing the bigger whole sea mission and it spawns the little boxes on first, jump out of your ship and yank them off with a tractor rifle. And then maybe give the ship a wiggle and it should start loading the 32s on. That's as far as we got. We were loading up the contract and we were doing really good. And then the whole ship just despawned and got stored by the station. Ironically, not by the impound police. It just disappeared, and we were EVAing headless for a second, which is really funny. And then that came back, and then, yeah, we're kind of in this weird loop. Every time I get onto the whole sea, blacks out. Puts me in black screen, like we just got knocked out, and then puts us back into the hangar. So there are definitely some powers here preventing us from going anywhere. Well, maybe to kill the last 10 minutes, I'll just hop into Arena Commander and get myself killed over and over in free flight combat. Just to do a little something something. I was trying to wait to see if it would return us from black screen, because it did earlier. It popped us back in the station. I feel like that was a rare feat, though. I don't want to waste any more time sitting here. So we're going to go ahead and all F4. If you didn't believe that I was a Drake fanboy, here's the same background I've had for years. Probably 4 or 5 years now. Drake Interplanetary. Alright. Let's launch this bad boy. Always missing the last few boxes in the large whole sea missions. You were solo or a team when it's happening? Maybe go back a little bit. Don't think the servers are worth trying until the hotfix. Yep, I agree, Mitchell. I think we need some hotfixes. At least the first one. And they know, I mean, it's integrated performance. It's Monday. I bet we'll probably have a hotfix today or tomorrow. I hope today. Hopefully they got enough data for today. Was kind of hoping they do it on Friday. But I've in the whole sea, I've always been solo. I might have missed what that was about. Having trouble finishing missions. I don't think servers. Whole sea missions. Always missing the last few boxes in the large whole sea missions. Last few, like the small ones? Yeah. Huh. So, Klaus, is that when you're delivering? Or like when you're picking them up? They're just not spawning? Alright. We're going to see if it kept my stuff here. Go free flight. Online. Best. We got our Gladdy. Hang on. Do we have our Gladdy kitted, though? Yeah, it still is. Cool. Guys can watch me get my butt kicked by some other pilots. Oh, man, it's always here. Why is it always here? Just kill some time. Doing some flight stuff. Pirates on here twice. Let's put our Saber Comet in here. What? What the heck? Why? It doesn't have my Comet? Really? Alright, let's go Gladius then. Okay. Let's go. See if there's anybody who wants to fight. What's this guy flying? Got a little Hornet? Alright. Let's go say hi. Trying to get away. I see you. What is he using? That's weird. Well, I don't know what I was just shooting at. Yeah. Alright, he's trying to buck out and joust me, so we gotta try to merge with him. He's got some health, man. Which way is he going? Alright, now he's coming back in. Try to merge. Nope, he's just kind of staying on me. He's missing some stuff. He's trying to do that defensive play. Why is he not just dying? Man. I still blacked out. I stopped applying thrust. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm running NDB 30s in this game mode. I'm kind of blown away that he's still in one piece. Are you kidding? Alright. Crazy. That took way too long. Man, I'm definitely not awake enough for combat. I haven't seen a Hornet stay in one piece that long under that kind of fire. The last 2 days I had partial completions of Terra to Magnus, but today I had my first full completion of that mission. Nice. Yeah, it might be a better way to go. You know, what it probably is Everest Harbor is so loaded up. So I think tomorrow I will head over to like maybe Terrace or Magna and try to do the missions from there, claim the whole sea out there. Yeah, CF repeaters are badass. They're a lot more accurate. NDBs are kind of a halfway point between attritions and CF repeaters. I think I do like CF repeaters better. Personally. Like if he takes me out, I'll jump in my Hornet that's got some CF repeaters on it. I'm kind of tempted actually to maybe hop back in the main game and head over to Terrace or Magna and claim the whole sea. Just that's a lot of time going by. I might do it anyway. Let's see if this guy wants to go again. He's just kind of sitting there. I don't really want to fight him if he's just sitting there. I don't want to be a dick. Oh. That's not the same guy. It's Zetamedic. Logri was the dude that I was fighting. Whoa, I've lost strafe control. What the heck? Hang on.
Systems offline. Aegis combat assist activated.
What the hell? Weird. Yeah, last time this happened, I actually had to hop out of the ship. Oh, we're in atmosphere. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, we're just gonna go back to me. That was so stupid. Why'd I do that? We sniped a bounty with a Redeemer, spun into blackout, woke up in soft death on the ground upside down, had to glitch out a turret. See that? Oh boy. Sounds like a hell of an adventure. Alright, let's head over. Oh! We're shard locked because of that black screen. Alright. Well, let's see if we can get back in. If it'll give us CET long time error. I think what I'll do is at least maybe head over to Magnus. Because there is a Magnus to Terra loop. You can go from Magnus to Terra with a lighter load. I think it's like 600 SEU of cargo. And then Terra to Magnus with a really big load. So I might make my way over there and set up shop. Get the whole sea claimed. That way, in the least, with tomorrow's stream, we can hit the ground running out of Lurville. Because I think that's part of the big problem. Because we were trying to do some golem testing and some mining over in the Hurston system and Crusader systems, but Orison and Lurville were just wrecked. And, you know, one of the things that makes sense, they're doing something new with this patch. Or not necessarily new, they're just kind of pivoting and trying something different. They basically have servers dedicated to the regions where the Align and Mine event are. And I believe there is one in Hurston, and there is one in the Crusader system. And it's probably why the two are so completely borked right now. So I think getting out of here and heading to Terrace and Magna, which should be on their own, should help. Because I don't think there's anything around Microtech, right? It's kind of being left alone this patch for the most part. So for us haulers, that might just be the best bet. We might have to eliminate running to Everest Harbor, which kind of sucks. It's such a great hub, which also might make it kind of a pain for those of you who are doing the planetary stacks. I'd also recommend adding lots of people to your friends list so you have a server browser instead of the game sorting. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Our guys will do that. You know, they'll use friends to hop into different servers rather than just kind of randomly hopping in. I really wish, man, like, I don't know if any of you guys ever played RuneScape growing up, but I remember how you could actually specifically select your world and the world you wanted to go to. Like World 22 in this region, or like World 10 in this region. And I kind of wish we had that sort of flexibility or autonomy with regard to what servers we choose. There's so many shards. I would love to just have like a block list of shards that I just don't want to be in. Arrow, I wonder if that's the reason why waypoints are brutal over here right now, over there right now. Yeah, it very much could be. You're talking about the issue with the way the servers are set up for align and mine. That might be the case. All right, we're in and we're on station and we are not calling the whole sea here. All right, let's get over to let's go to Terra, because the big mission is actually Terra to Magnus, and then it's a slightly smaller mission from Magnus. We will take. Let's see. Do I have? I have an Atlas drive and the Golem. That might be a good... we gotta claim it, though. Damn it. Hang on, let's see. Do I have anything I can just deliver? Yeah, the buck. We'll grab the honey badger. Let's see, gonna put a... Oh, I don't have any quantum drives at Everest, so we're just gonna ride the buck out to Terra. Terra's not too far from Everest. It's not too bad a jump. So we'll do that. Yep. I did. I woke up in the ASOP room exactly where I was shard locked prior, like we alt F4'd. And this is also where I popped up when we were waiting the first time. My brain turned off. There we go. When the whole sea made us black out. So right now we're just going to grab our Buccaneer and get out of Dodge. Actually, see if I have enough time to do this. Sweet, it worked. So that should have instanced a small hangar and also prevented the hangar from eating our ship with weirdness. There we go. Yep. So this is the tactic that I use. Call a ship, wait 3 to 4 seconds, store it, then just go down to your instance hangar and call it from there. There's the message I was waiting for from my wife. If I don't make a Dominic's alarm, sandwich and pasta wrap. Sorry guys, just texting the wife real quick, telling her she needs to just get some rest. We had a crazy weekend, very sore, very tired. Alright, let's get this thing.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Sweet. Yeah, if I had to guess, that's probably also why you guys have had better luck over there in Terra and Magnus with your whole sea missions. So, a little PSA, I guess, avoid Everest Harbor and basically Herson and Crusader if you're doing any hauling. I'll need to maybe do a little testing of the mission stacking for the member contracts that I like. Or actually, maybe I'll go see how that is around Microtech, because there should be something similar on each of the planets, and Microtech might be the way to do it to avoid the craziness of the server performance around Everest. This is all speculation, educated guessing based on events and the way they have the servers handled right now, so take it all with a grain of salt, but I'd be pretty confident that we'll have better experience over there. I do like this little ship. Wow, I think we just kind of got through the glass. That's interesting. Yeah, all kinds of weirdness. Alright. Let's get out of here. And we'll go claim the whole sea at Terra Gateway, and then we'll fly over to Port Tressler, claim the Caterpillar and maybe the Taurus, and see what the mission selection's like over there. Yeah, only about 40 gigs out from here, which is not bad. I did all my junior member grind 3 days ago, right after the update. Didn't have any issues with stacking non-whole sea missions. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a good way that you can check to see where you're at as far as our servers and such. Like right now, we are technically in US Shard 130. So you can get around your weird shard names if you want to know where you're at, how many people are in, what's going on, frame, FPS, all that. Yep. Actually kind of relieved that we're getting far away from Hurston for now. I really hope they give it some love today. I would love to see a hotfix come out today. That would be much appreciated to everybody, I think. Because so anybody who's in stream, let me know, how did you guys make out with this update as far as your components and ships? Did any of you guys lose any ships you bought in game? I lost a buttload of components and stuff. A couple things carried over kind of randomly. Ah, widescreen. Yes, sir. Yep, I am on a 3440 by 1440. I had a couple of complaints when I had uploaded videos in full widescreen resolution, so I just zoomed it in. Since the layout with the MFDs and everything is basically still 2560 by 1440, I was like, alright, I can just kind of zoom it in a bit. If you go back to like the first video or two on my channel, you'll see it in ultra wide. Also, I've had nothing but problems with this Samsung Odyssey 4K ultra wide monitor. I don't know if maybe I'm just unlucky, but I don't recommend it. Like, I'm probably going to go back. My second monitor over here is the Asus TUF Gaming 2560 by 1440, 165 hertz refresh. It's a great monitor. I'm probably just going to get another one of those, because the amount of times that I had to like hard reset this stupid Odyssey, such a colossal waste of money. I should have put that money towards upgrading my PC. This is a freaking like $1,000 monitor. It was on sale at Best Buy and I had a credit card. I gave in. Long story short, it was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. Malachi, amazingly, I kept guns and quantum drives I'd bought and put on my account owned ships. They were in my inventory. Well, good stuff, dude. Yeah, I had one Erebus quantum drive carry over, a couple of Chimeras, a couple of stealth components carry over. I seem to lose a little bit here and there. Lost all my big attritions and all, though. Commander Hobo did lose ships, didn't lose ships? Cool. But lost all my components, both CZ, and yeah, my buddy Cat and Guza that had like buttload of guns and NDBs and all kinds of stuff from doing the CZ zones and from salvaging and stripping things off of his SRV. Those are all gone, which is, big sad face. The NDB 30s that I had on my Gladius are gone. But it's alright, I kind of expected that. I'm just glad, because the whole C I bought in-game, the Saber Comet, the Razor EX, I bought those in-game, and I was really happy that I didn't lose any of those. There are a couple of people that were in my live stream on Thursday, Friday, one of those days, that they lost their whole C. That broke my heart, so I'm going to try to help them get that back as soon as the whole C is working. I'm going to dedicate in-game funds and basically zell it over to them to help them get their moneymaker back. Because I know I'd be annoyed if I lost my whole C. That'd probably give me a very bad reason to whip out the credit card and take advantage of the ability to purchase it again right now, because it is available in the store along with the whole E and stuff. But I'd really rather not, because I already have it in game, so why spend $500 on the whole C if I don't need to? I got other things I need to make happen first. It's 4 a.m. I stayed up too late when I saw you streaming. Good luck on the testing. Alright, Pizarro. Yeah, man, you get some rest, dude. It was good to have you in the stream. You take care, man. We'll see you again. I tried to lose ships on purpose because my ASOP is so cluttered with executive hangars. Yolids and cutting blacks. Oh, no. Yeah. It'd be nice if there was a way to clean that up. Can you sell those? I feel like there should be an option to sell this stuff. I know it might be annoying to... if you have a whole bunch to go through all that, but because I think you can sell weapons and stuff. I haven't messed around with all that. What's up, Terra Gateway? Looking good. All right, let's get in here. Oh, relax. All right, where is our zone? Is it back this way? Yep, there it is. No selling chips yet. Yeah, that needs to happen. What are the member rank destinations you like? So, I like at least with regard to Everest, which might be kind of a pain to do right now, I like the destinations that go to the actual distribution centers, the HDPCs. The ones that I've traditionally used on my stack are the Kovalex distribution center, like SCD-1 or whatever, that you will deliver the stims to for the planetary mission. And then it is going to be HDPC Casillo, HDPC Farnsway, Sakura Sun Magnolia Work Center, and TISA Spaceport. Those have always been the main ones that I've used. I am going to mess around Microtech because hopefully the servers will be more stable over here since they're not, I think, involved in the aligner mine stuff. So we're here at Terra. I'm going to touch down and claim the whole sea, and then zip over to Port Tressler, claim the Caterpillar, and kind of get staged up for maybe some planetary missions out of Microtech. See if I can do something similar. See if I can replicate the basic 8-mission stack of distribution centers around Micro. But the distribution centers, like, avoid the external surface level cargo elevators, because those always bug for me and end up wasting my time. I have never had failures with the actual distribution centers that have an internal hangar that you go inside of, which are the ones I mentioned. Those have always worked. From 401, they've always worked. Every time. Zero failure. The external hangars, the external cargo elevators fail constantly. They go into a permanent loading phase where they won't transfer the element or the equipment, or they won't even move the elevator up and down. I wouldn't waste my time there at all. Alright. Oh, I gotta go out, claim it, because we're at a small terminal here. Microtech is Copion hunting ground for Wikilo, so there are a lot of people there. Oh, damn it. Yep, alright, so I guess Micro is getting a little bit... Well, hopefully the server might not be quite as heavy. I don't know, I guess we'll see. I mean, we might just be kind of screwed on all of them. Well, what about ArcCorp? Any of ArcCorp's moons involved in a line of mine or anything? Maybe ArcCorp is the place to be for the planetaries.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Alright, go ahead and claim the whole sea
Your
here.
insurance claim has been sent.
Okay. Please give me the expedited... Oh, goodness. Come on now. Now she doesn't want to leave Everest Harbor. There it is. Okay. Sometimes you gotta be patient. Give it a second to catch up.
Thank you.
Alright.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
ArcCorp is clean. Alright, to ArcCorp we go. I appreciate you, Blade. Thank you.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
So let's hop back in the buck and make our way over to ArcCorp.
Stand by. Your vehicle. Please visit us.
Whoop. And store it.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been moved to our
There we go. Small hangar. There we are. No hearth, no Hathor, any stuff for Wikilo. Alright, man. Blade, you are the man. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to head over to ArcCorp. We'll get the Caterpillar over there, which has a 6-minute claim time, which isn't bad. And we'll take a peek at the contract missions while we're there. Maybe I can, I'll get the Taurus as well in that spot for planetary stuff. Because if for whatever reason the whole sea decides to be temperamental tomorrow, might be able to do hauling contracts with the Caterpillar or the Taurus on the member grind side. I am still going to get that video out because that video is going to be quick. I'm just going to basically voice over content that I was recording while I was grinding in the PTU. And it'll all be relevant to what's going on in live. Just maybe the destination will be different if ArcCorp ends up having a similar way to do it. But yeah, member is probably the most annoying thing to grind in hauling, because once you get to experienced, you have the potential of getting the 698 to 700,000 AUEC missions at the whole sea. And by the time you're in experienced rank, the Caterpillar is almost made obsolete. I think you can still get some really good use out of the C2, just because there's a big focus on 32 SCU boxes, and you can only fit 8 in the Caterpillar. But yeah, I mean, honestly, by experience, hopefully you've got enough for a whole sea, and you can just go crazy. Oh, come on, let's get off the ground. There we go. Alright. 2 by Genie. Let's go. Hopefully we got enough quantum fuel. I just realized... Yeah, we should. We should be able to make the jump. Did it not? Oh, there it is. No?
Thank
That's...
you. Please visit again.
It did the thing. Why? Do I need to select ArcCorp proper? Is that what it's doing? There we go. Alright, fine. We'll select ArcCorp itself then. We're going all over the place. Yeah, you can refuel while hovering. I was just pretty sure the Buccaneers got enough quantum fuel in its tanks to make these jumps. I was running around in the Golem a bit, and it's got a very small tank. Let's see if the wifey said. Just checking in on my father real quick. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Pops and I go work out together, but he's going through some stuff, so I think he might be out for the day too, which means I'll just get a little bit extra stream time in, trying to get this stuff all figured out. Because typically my streams will end around 5. Today's an unscheduled stream. Again, I might switch my schedule to Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead of Tuesday, Thursday to get a little bit more stream time on with everybody. And might even just keep streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays too. I don't know, we'll see. I'm trying to make sure I kind of keep a bit of a balance, but I'm already up that early playing anyway, so why not stream and have y'all around and have a good time, messing around, seeing how Star Citizen's playing. You think Ironclad at Invictus, or will they keep it for IAE? I'm torn. I feel like it's going to be at Invictus. What was the other ship? Shoot, I'm spacing. Because I thought there was another corresponding event or something that was going to go on that made people think the Ironclad was coming out sooner rather than later. Personally, I'm down for it to drop on Invictus. That'd be sick. That's around June, right? That's usually when that happens. I'll be well ready for it. I already have a bunch of store credits set aside. I'm going to get the freight version and do all kinds of testing and hauling with that thing, and then carrying the little golem out into the belt. Perseus, there it is. Thank you. Yes. There's a lot of talk that the Ironclad and Perseus are going to drop together, and I'm pretty sure that was going to be Invictus. I don't know. I'm excited for it, though. I want to see what kind of ships are popping up, what kind of deals might come up. Cool, I think the wifey is just going to go ahead and go back to sleep because she is struggling to get up, and I don't blame her. End of May, yeah. Got CCU's chains for both already. Yep. I'm ready to go on the Ironclad. I won't be able to pull the trigger on the Perseus, but I think a couple of guys in my org are. Or maybe some of the guys in the Discord are. I guess, y'all have been here with me. Any of you who are not in the Discord, I'll go ahead and send that invite out. If anybody wants to jump in. There you go. Because we're building up a cool little community here of people that enjoy the industrial side of life and give us ample opportunity in the future to crew up together and have some fun messing around. It's been cool to see people hopping in and having fun, giving all of us solo players some good people to chat with and play with. Alright, let's get settled in here at ArcCorp. Since we're over here, we'll go ahead and sit down at Baijini. Probably set my spawn there for now. Get the Caterpillar and Taurus claimed. We are waiting for the timer to go away. Did it not do it? Why? Is Baijini just not registering? No, cancel that. There we go. Alright, that's lovely. We'll just have to free fly it. Let's see, use a polar node to maybe see everything. Where are we? Damn, is that the polar node? Way too close. There must be one behind us then. Yeah, there we go. Hit that. OM4. I suspect Perseus and Invictus and Ironclad at IAE. Yeah, it's possible, Lave. Yeah, I could see that too. I know a lot of people are excited for the Perseus. That's going to be a sick ship. I'm in no rush either way. But I am excited to test out the Ironclad for sure. Let's see, which one is by Genie? Where are you chilling? Is it actually on the side I'm on? Is that it right there? Oh, it is! What's up? Oh, that's a good call. I could go to Area 18 as well. I got lucky that Genie is right here on the map, or in front of us. No need to hit any more orbital nodes. Alright. Get a good look at where everything is. Forgot how fast this thing moves. Mad Hatter. I like that. Hit the brakes. It's internal, right? Like inside the ring, I believe? Yeah, there it is. Got a thrust indicator where we want it. Get that landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
It's so touchy. Alright. There we go. Let's kill that. Let's go ahead and refuel. Awesome. Cool. That was my father reporting in some good news about his situation. So yeah, guys, we're going to keep the stream going for a bit longer because everybody else is doing their own thing. I'll just send out this text real fast. All right. Pop out, get this stored, get the Cat and Taurus claimed. We'll take a look at the contract, see if we've got the member stack that we would want to do here. Hopefully it's the same sort of outpost versus distribution, distribution center classifications to make it easy. Go ahead and store that. Where is, there we go, nope. A little bit higher up. Oh, nope, I'm in a small hangar again. I always do that. I realize I gotta get out of here to grab the bigger stuff. We'll go ahead and set our medical spawn too. It's always a good thing to practice. Okay, there we go. Elevator's in the right place. Try to fall through any floors while we make our way to the med spawn. And I ironically have not done any testing on planetary missions really outside of Everest. I kind of just locked in on Everest and just did everything there. There we go. There's the cat.
Your insurance claim.
What's nice too is when you're doing the stuff around the planet, it doesn't really matter to have upgraded components because your quantum drive speed isn't really going to be much of a factor. And then there's our Taurus.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Come on. There we go.
Thank you. Please visit
All right.
us again.
Let's go set that med spawn and take a look at some things. Should just be right over here by the HAB units. There we go. And this is, might be common sense to most of you too, but yeah, anytime I'm going to be working in a certain area, I just like to set the med spawn at the main station. That way, you're not traveling more than you need to when crazy things decide to happen. Which never happened. We didn't see that for the majority of this morning or anything. It'd be nice to get in the whole sea and not black out. Alright. Let's see what we're working with. About 20 contracts less here than at Everest Harbor. Interesting. So we want to look for member planetary small. I wonder if it'll have the same payout. I feel like it should. Should all be pretty similar. I wish they added tractors to the side bays of the Star Lancer. I hate how the Connie looks, but it's just such... Yeah, the Connie's pretty incredible as far as like where its tractor beam is and how you can access the cargo bay and all. I saw Dr. Coldfinger Space Nuggets video comparing the Starlancer to the Connie, and the Connie Taurus has been my most used ship by far. But I tell you what, I kind of want to buy a Starlancer to test it out, to give my opinions on it. Because it has a sick loadout. Wow, I'm not getting very many member missions on this side. Or I'm just completely bogged down. There we go. Member Planetary Small 90K. It's about one of them. Oh, no. It's... Oh, they're showing me the Everest Harbor stuff. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. So... Damn. Is it kind of locked down at Everest Harbor? Is that where the main contracts that I do? Yeah, I mean, this is the 4 stack. I don't like doing... I like it when it's only 3. Man. Everest might have a bit of a monopoly on these. I mean, there's some good experience stuff, but that's not really the point. Arc L2. Oh, here we go. Oh, but I think these are externals. Yeah, these are externals. Those are not very reliable. External surface level elevators and all their loading issues. Planetary Small by Genie to Shubin Mining Facility. I'm pretty sure Sal 5, Sal 2, Area 56, 61. These should all be external spots. Yeah, that King of Stacks might just be an Everest Harbor thing. Tons of senior contracts popping up here. Experienced. Remember Solar Medium. Arc L5 to Port Tressler and Seraphim. Member Solar Medium. Oh, there are a couple of there are more member. Maybe it's because we're around ArcCorp. That might be a way to do it. Microtech works great for stacking member small contracts. There are 3 stops, around 5 to 6 contracts available with 99. Okay, yeah. See, I was gonna go. Thanks, man. 77. I was gonna go to Microtech to try that out, but it is also an area of hotspot for the Align and Mine, which might have some server load issues, but it might still end up being the better place to go versus Everest right now in Hurston, just because of the contract availability. Yeah, 3 stops, 5 to 6. That's damn near as good as Everest. Everest is 8 contracts, 3 stops, with the 90 to 99K payout. But Micro is probably the better one to do right now, because I would bet even with maybe what's going on with Weekolo over there, it's probably still more stable than Everest Harbor. Yeah, I think these are the Everest Harbor ones. Yeah. We're learning. I think I have a Chimera drive on the Taurus, so I'll probably use the Taurus to get back over there. Time should be good for the whole seat of spawns. Maybe we can do a couple of, yeah, Copen and Farmers. Yep. Not probably as bad as the server load that comes from the actual orbital mining lasers. That's my thought process, which is one of the reasons I think that Hurston and Crusader are so crappy performance-wise. Just my initial thought. You know, I'm speculating with that, but it would make sense, you know, that the server overload, because they structured the servers differently with this patch to focus on the Align and Mine event. So they have like their own server per event area that are affected according to CIG. So they've restructured. I think there's 7 servers in Stanton and 3 in Pyro with this build.
Welcome to the ASOP
So
vehicle
hopefully
retrieval
again we just get a nice hot fix. Sorry, my brain kind of turned off there. Cool, yeah, we'll hop in the Taurus. Pretty sure I got a Chimera drive on that, so it'll be pretty fast. And we'll zip over to Microtech. I came over to ArcCorp because there's really nothing going on with the event here, but there's also no member contracts. Go figure.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
And there she is. All right, we'll do the store trick. So call it.
Your vehicle has please visit us
2,
again. Goodbye.
3,
Welcome.
4. Store it. Pop down to the hangar. Call it from there. There we go. This has been basically a tried and true method for me too. Every time calling a ship in a place that isn't your home, just again call a ship, wait 3 to 4 seconds, store it, instance to your hangar, and then come and call it from down here properly.
Welcome
and you should be good. There's only been like maybe 1 in 20 that have failed with this method. And it's just because it would put the ship in like an instant claim status on pad, which we had that issue this morning with the Hull C. Alright, we're kind of zipping around. Hull C should be ready to go at Terra Gateway too. Got a lot of moving, a lot of running around going on. And I think Microtech and Port Tressler aren't too far away from Terra. Actually, they're probably about the same distance to where we're at now. Let's see. Kind of a general idea of where these places are from all the station-to-station running I've been doing. Wow, this mouse scroll wheel just bit me in the rear and zoomed out way too far. Okay. Nope. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. Come on. Stanton. Come on, come on. Wake up. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Similar distance because we're kind of coming out to the side. All right. Oh, you tried with the storing method that we were using? You're saying it hasn't worked every time with the small ships? Arrow, why are you still here? No, it's great to have you here, man. Yeah, we're going to zip over to Terra and see if we can actually get some Hull C stuff running. I'm probably going to run until about maybe 6:30. 6:30, so about another hour's worth, so we can actually try to get some actual Hull C time in. And if it just completely fails, then I'll mess around a little bit with the Microtech member planetary hauling stuff. We'll see, we'll see. We'll try to get some good use out of the time streaming this morning, since we've been met with all sorts of challenges. Get my MFDs set up, get rid of MSD casting, which is really annoying in the Connies. Wait, the other way. Turn off stagger fire, flight. There we go. Gear up. Feels good to be back in the VTIS Radian. Love this ship. I'm a big Connie fan. I just wish they would do something about the struts in our face. Like, honestly, just get rid of that bottom strut, and we'd be alright. Alright, let's set course for Terra. Use this crazy fast Tamara quantum drive to get over there. Class A civilian is the way to go aside from military. Whoop, other way. Yeah, small ships start clipping immediately after retrieving from hull. Oh man, that's annoying. Yeah, I haven't had that problem. You're having that issue with, like, you're calling them from your actual hangar, and they're still having that issue? That's really frustrating. Hopefully it gets fixed with the hot patch. The Wicklow ships seem to have different component loadouts than the standard ship, so I'm wondering how the Wicklow Taurus compares. Interesting, I didn't know that. Huh. Now I'm really curious. I'm going to have to definitely do those missions and see what's going on. Love it when my arrow spawns upside down on the pad or the freelancer spawns halfway to the platform. Damn. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen these problems. Granted, I haven't been on here aside from that first day of testing, I want to say. Yeah, because then I went to go in the Hull C and then I got locked with that respawn sort of shard lock issue. And so far today we've been pretty lucky. The arrow allowed us to actually get into our Hull C, which is really funny. If you haven't seen that, you know, maybe if you watch back the stream later in the beginning, that was the only way I could get in the Hull C because she was being really stubborn. She wasn't showing up. She was like claim status when trying to call her out. But then retrievable from the ASOP terminal up in TISA Spaceport's ASOPs, and then tried to retrieve from there, and then that went claim status, but on pad. So she was like down at the bottom of the hangar. So I called the arrow up, and the arrow brought the Hull C with it. And I was like, all right, this is what's happening today. It's been an adventure. If you call them from the hangar, it's okay, but if you freshly started and don't have an assigned hangar, it looks like the first receive a medium ship, store it, and then call for a small one inside the hangar. So yeah, see, that's where my option has been working pretty fine, even with the small ships. You from that main ASOP, and maybe this is what you've been using and it's still not working for you, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself. But you call whatever ship, count off like 3 to 4 full seconds, and then store it from that same ASOP terminal up top, and show that it says stored with the retrieve option, and then you just go to your instanced hangar, because now it pops your hangar in, and so you just head down and then call your ship from the terminal down there. But if that's what you're doing and it's still messing up, then yeah, if calling the medium ship or something bigger works, that's awesome. Wiggalo Scorp has 4 power plants instead of 2. So these are genuinely unique ships. They're not just like the same ship layout with just Banu parts installed or something. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That is completely different than what I expected, which gets me kind of excited. I'm definitely going to have to mess around with this event then to get some like really weird special versions of these ships. Because I know that eventually you can get some pretty cool stuff, but I didn't know they were different to that degree. That's pretty exciting, actually. Yeah, God, these struts in my face. So I really like the design of the Zeus. If you guys have flown that thing, you already know, like, these 2 trapezoidal glass fragments in front of us are just there with no struts blocking your eyesight. And if they give us that sort of a pass with the Connies, it'll be amazing. I don't care about the side struts are fine. It's just the middle. Like, just get rid of the 2 parallel struts in the middle. And I think that Connie pilots and everyone else will be really happy. Alright. Slowing us down here. And, of course, it's back this other way. So, let's shift our direction. There we go. Make sure we're going to avoid that pylon. Because aside from that, I really love this ship. This is very much a design that I've always liked. Yeah, the Zeus is a great little ship. I had it for a little while because I just really wanted to try it out, and that's like RSI figured out how to design a ship properly. Like, the whole design is just to the point, pun intended. It is underpowered as far as being a ship that you can like maybe go do bounties with, which is where the Taurus still kind of kicks it in the rear, because you can actually go out and do VHRTs with a Taurus and just slap and destroy everything really easily, and then load up all that wonderful Quantanium or Slam or whatever you manage to find. This was like my main workhorse for the supply or die stuff, because we just do VHRTs and I would just load up all that copper and corundum. And the Zeus's cargo bay could use some love, because the way they have the grid laid out is really weird, and the tractor beam is kind of a mess. But the ship's actual physical design, to me, is a win across the board. I love it, and I hope that the Connies get that sort of attention to detail when they get their gold pass. C1 with the ladder. Zeus has it in the front would be my dream. Yes. Yeah, I like the double ingress-egress option for the Zeus as well. Yeah, I was wondering if at first when I got the Zeus, if it would replace my Taurus, but then I found myself not really using the Zeus all that much, which kind of, that said everything you really needed to hear with regard to, you know, comparing it from the Connie. Or if, like, maybe you had a Star Lancer, because they're just a step up in cargo, weapons capacity, all of it. It's a great boat, though. Like, I would not be upset if I had a Zeus and I didn't have a Connie yet or something. Like, that Zeus would be great. And I really love the way it looks. Like, your view out of the cockpit's amazing. Alright. Store this thing. Get out here and grab the whole sea. And see if we can get back to some fun here. Cool to see that Labe joined the Discord. What's up? Alright. Let's get in here. Head up. And see what happens. At least we're getting a fresh whole sea. And I really just want to see if we don't black out. God, it'd be annoying. Don't have to worry about pulling any cargo off of it or anything. We just should be just ready to go. We're going to do our same store and call trick. Oh, actually, we're here at Terra. I'm going to go ahead and set my med spawn here real fast. These guys are all lined up, getting ready for early morning muster before work. Hey, there we go. Med print transferred. Now we'll see if the hypothesis holds that server load on this end of Stanton's system isn't so bad.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Okay, we'll do our trick.
Vehicle selected.
Call it.
Stand by.
Wait for it to propagate. There we go. 2, 3,
You'll please visit us
4.
again. Welcome.
Get in here and restore it.
Vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle
Wait for it to
is
show.
to our storage
There it is. Stored. Now we should have our large hangar instanced. Bam. And I suspect we won't need to call up our arrow to get the whole sea out this time, since we're not in Lurville or Hurston anymore. Well, it was just a few days ago and feel frustrated when when you realize the cargo layout. Yeah, feels like a downgrade to the C1, but works fine for trading and refinery orders. Yeah, if you don't have to deal with the manual load, it's pretty good. I mostly love the actual physical design, the thought that went into how the ship looks and where everything is. But yeah, they dropped the ball with like what's gridded cargo space and what isn't. I found that really weird, and you have to get really specific with how you finagle loading that thing to really take advantage of its cargo bay. And moving boxes around, you have to do them in a certain order or they'll get stuck. It's some work. It's some work. I need to actually, what I'm going to do once this whole sea is running properly and I've just got funds trickling in, I'm going to help out a couple of people that I said I would help out getting their whole sea back. And then I'm going to start buying a buttload of cargo ships so I can actually give my perspective on them, using them too for people, and actually, like, you know, compare what it's like to use a Freelancer versus a C1 versus a Zeus, even a Cuddy Black going, you know, to the lower end, getting a Raft, maybe even a Corsair, and just try all the different cargo methods, what you can do with the actual gridded space versus what you can really fit in there ungridded too to maximize on things. There's a lot that I'd love to do, and just this ship right here, the Maggie C, is going to be my way of funding all of that. So I just really need her to work reliably, and I'll have plenty of funds rolling in. So far, so good, as far as how everything's feeling, pulling her out over here over at Terra Gateway and all. I'll probably be making my main area of work Terra, Microtech, Magnus kind of region of Stanton system, like the northern quadrant, so to speak. Alright. And since we're starting here at Terra, I think we have the big one to Magnus. And then we can see with the senior rank 2 contract if there's anything from Magnus back to Terra. I know there's an experienced Magnus to Terra that's like 600 SKU. Pays like 150k. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if there might be anything for senior. That would be even better. Alright, landing gear up. Ship's looking good. So while we're doing this, let's go ahead and get the contract while that opens up. Should be pretty easy to tell which one it is. Especially since there's a lot less hauling contracts and you're not next to one of the main planets, which is nice. Scroll all the way down. This should be it here. No, that's the Everest one. Should be the next one. Oh, Terra to Pyro. Yikes. I don't want to do that. That's a little risky. Everest to Magnus. What, did I pass it? Is it up here a bit more? Alright, you know what? Now, of course, it's taking too long. Let's get out of here first. Okay. I'll slow down to maybe 50 meters a second or so we're not going too fast, too far.
Thank you.
Let's pull these back up. I might have just went right over it. Should be 698k from Terra to Magnus. We could do the Pyro one. I don't think Pyro Gateway is probably as dangerous now that Supplier dies over, but it's still a spot where people like to camp the gateway to take people out. Everest to Magnus. There it is. It was just below it. It's hiding. So 3,100 or so. Let's see how this goes. Go ahead and get the ship expanding. Let's see. Cargo should have been right there. Double tap our box. We got it. Cool. Looking good. Are the contracts global, so if others take them, you won't get them until refresh? No, not for the hauling missions. That does seem to be the case for bounties. Like, you'll notice somebody will grab a VHRT. I'm pretty sure it's not for hauling missions. But yeah, that is how it is for bounties for sure. Hauling missions don't seem to be that way. I've never had an issue. Granted, there also haven't been like a buttload of whole C's doing the same thing. It'll be cool when you start to see like 3 or 4 whole C's docking at the same time to pick up cargo, but I don't believe so. I don't think it's like bounties. I guess we will see if that changes. Alright. I think we're not moving. We should be good. Well, we are going to move a little bit, so I'm going to give a little vertical strafe to come to a stop. I like to do vertical versus forward and back. I'm going to be patient, let it kind of figure itself out here. We are definitely fully inside. Let me go back a little bit. Alright, stopping. There we go. Commencing cargo transfer. Did it do the small ones? Oh, it did, but it's still loading the big ones. This might kind of crap on my original issue. Or concern. Alright, guys, let's see. Because we got the small ones on, but we're loading the big ones too, right on top of them. It might genuinely be just the server issues over at Hurston. This looks like the processed food. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we did this. I'm going to crack into these crackers because I am starving, so I do apologize. I will try to mute my mic when I'm actually munching on these so you don't hear all the mouth noises at least. But I am happy to see that we are loading up. You are so right, Blade. Only took 4 hours. So true. I'm wondering, too, if maybe because it's only like 3,100, that the small boxes didn't really get in the way. Because that last one was a lot more full. Oh, no. We got our grid back, which usually means we are done. So we're going to pull out of here. We don't want to cause any issues with impound police. I'm go ahead and get a good distance away from the station before we navigate over to Magnus. But yeah, we successfully fully loaded out of Terra.
Thank you, and please visit again.
That is definitely something to be happy about. Now it's requesting another box, which is interesting. I think it just spawned one. Yep, right below us. Weird. Alright, let's set course from Magnus and see what happens. Should be it right there. Oh, come on, big girl. There we go. Loading area revoked. Cool, I'm glad that registered. One of the things that had improved with the PTU was just the whole function of the cargo system in general at these stations. Like the boxes spawning when they're supposed to, and also despawning when they're supposed to, and you're not getting stuck in this like permanent state of technically having a box waiting for you, which would cause issues. So we'll take our victories where we can get them. We got a decent load here, 700k UEC load of processed food going to Magnus. Lave raft is fun, but when the physicalized cargo, with physicalized cargo, they forgot to make the clamps openable, so you end up with only specific ways to slot containers. Add to it the odd choice. Hang on. Did I lose a little bit of that chat? So you end up with only specific ways to slot containers. Add to it the dog choice, not adding Or the ATLS. You lost me a little bit at the end with the ATLS. Sorry. It's annoying with the clamps, though. I haven't even seen that. Like, I had a raft way back when the raft wasn't even really a usable ship. And it was just kind of fun to fly around for a little bit. And then I ended up melting it pretty quick because there was literally nothing you could do. We didn't have any cargo boxes you could put on it. So I've been curious to get it back and see how it functions. It's good to know about the clamps, though. Feels like there's so much potential for so many of these ships to be so much fun. They just all need their own little bits of love and overhauls. Yeah, this is the big jump. Magnus Atera is quite a ways. That is a good look. I love seeing the whole sea loaded up with cargo that actually makes it kind of necessary. Oh, lack of an ATLS docker tractor. I gotcha. Yeah. Wait, no tractor beam? Really? That's kind of crazy of Argo to miss that. Especially with how much they went crazy with tractors on their other little ships that, you know, help you onload and offload stuff. See, like, I haven't really found a whole lot of meaningful use out of the Atlas and the MPV tractor and stuff. I've always just found that I've had a simpler time, a more enjoyable time just pulling out my tractor rifle rather than juggling all that other equipment around, personally. But it might also be because of my use of the Taurus and its tractor beam, or the Caterpillar and the fact that the ATLS and stuff just really doesn't do much good for the Cat. I know I've heard a lot of people have a lot of success with the C2, the Hercules series ships and such when it comes to those. But in my use case, it's been a lot easier for me to just whip out the tractor rifle and do it myself. It might take like a couple minutes longer, but for me it saves the time of pulling out several vessels, different ships, trying to make it all work. But hopefully they get, you know, overhauls and patches that make them more usable in time. I just realized there's another technically small, what is that, 24 SCU box there on the outside. It is really weird that it spawned the small boxes first, but I'm just glad that the big boxes came along. Then I didn't have to go out and yank them off. Still 55 gigs to go, man. Well, I'm going to take another bite. I was trying to keep up with what's going on with my father. He's going through some stuff. Hopefully he gets some good news soon. I know he is not happy about life interrupting our gym sessions because we've been at it for a couple weeks and feeling strong and getting to a good place. We'll just have to make sure we get back into it after he's done recovering. But hey, man, sometimes life has its ways of telling you to slow down and focus on your health. Let's see, how much longer we got? About 20 gigs? All right, we're getting there. It's one of the reasons I kind of like having the Everest part of the loop, because it's a shorter run. Everest to Magnus is still pretty lengthy, but when you can get like a Magnus, Everest, Terra sort of thing going, you end up zipping through pretty well, pretty quick, getting a lot of good stuff done. Sly Blackheart, what's up, man? Is there a reason why you didn't want to do the Everest mission? Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. We spent the last 3 hours of our live stream here trying to get away from Hurston and Everest and getting constantly bugged out of the whole sea. So when the stream is over, if you want to see all those shenanigans, you can head back and watch that. Right now, with the Align and Mine event going on, the servers dedicated to that are largely in Hurston and Crusader. And right now, playing out of those areas are just a total mess. Trying to get anything to work properly. Trying to even just get your ships to call out properly. So the thought process was to get as far away from Hurston as possible. And this is our first attempt doing so at Magnus after we claim the whole sea. Again, we've claimed the whole sea twice in the stream now. This time just to get it away from Everest Harbor and Hurston. And we managed to actually successfully load it up. And we're about to do our drop off at Magnus and then try from Magnus back to Terra. Just given the server resources dedicated to this Align in mind for now, at least until we get a couple of hot fixes, hopefully today and tomorrow. This might be the most reliable way to do this without really hating your life with your whole seas. Alright, we're going to get in here up to probably about 250 to 300 meters a second, and then we'll turn and burn. We got a nice full load. And what's up, Paxaman in the Discord? Good to see you there. Alright, yeah, we'll get up to about 300. Everyone take your seats, prepare for a flip and burn. My favorite part of the whole mission. Get it? My favorite part of the whole mission? Wait till you guys see this. Sorry, couldn't help it. Alright, full power to engines. We're going to wait till we get our ATC landing icon. Should be any second now. We're going to go full retro. There it is. Full burn. Coming in this expanse style. Let's go. Far enough off to not worry about hitting any drones or anything, which is the whole point. This should 300 meters a second and then hitting your burn when you get the ATC landing request should be just about perfect. You get down to 40 to 50 meters a second, then call. There we go. And then pitch around. Got plenty of distance from the station. Let's see where our box is. Right there. Look at that. That is my method when you're fully loaded up in this thing. And hopefully we have a clean offload of this 3100 and then we can see what sort of contracts we got here. I have had nothing but bad luck stacking missions of this caliber back to back. So I wait until I fully offload to call up another one. Stacking lower missions has been a breeze, but you also don't really need to waste your time doing those missions with the whole sea. That was mostly for testing purposes in the PTU. Alright, here we are in. I'm going to go ahead and get us slowed down. Whoa. Alright, hit our parking brake. We're stopped. We are offloading. That's what I want to see, man. Good stuff. So far, so good. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Hell yeah. We're going to let this fully offload, and then we will peel out of here to avoid impound police and grab the next mission and see how it goes. But this is a relief. I think it's a good idea getting away from Hurston. Now, thanks to a few people back earlier in the stream chat that mentioned that they were having some success. Wow, words. Some success between Magnus and Terra. I can definitely see why. I'll be keeping my eyes open too for that hopeful hotfix today. Yeah, I'm not touching a thing. That's what if in some of my earlier live streams a couple weeks back, my thing would be like to stop and be like, hands off the sticks, hands up, don't touch a thing, just let it go, let it finish. Hey, I mean, to your point, Blade, you know, it's taken several hours, but hot damn, I think we just got a completion. Let's go, dude. Alright, we're going to pitch up and get out of here to avoid getting impounded. And call up another one. I love how fast she moves when there's nothing on board. Just tears out of here. Flip around, come to a stop. Damn it, why are you requesting another cargo grid? Oh, I hate that I did that. For testing's sake, we won't completely back out of Armistice to make that disappear. We're going to kind of see what happens, because I want to see if that grid will actually respond to this next contract we're going to do. So we're going to be looking for maybe even a senior rank mission would be dope. I wonder if there's any... Well, they won't be up here. They'll be closer down the list. Or further down the list, sorry. I know there's at least one experienced one that'll do it. So Terra to Pyro. Magnus to Everest. That's a member rank. Definitely don't want to do that one. Make L1. There's the Everest one that's basically a full load. Just don't really want to mess with Everest right now. Junior, 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 junior. Experienced. Is this the one? That's Pyro to Everest. So it's something similar. It's direct interstellar. But it's Magnus back to Terra. It's Terra to Everest. Magnus to Terra. There it is. It's a really light load. And really light pay, but it's the only real way to sort of close the loop. Oh, man, really? It didn't actually fully pull the mission, but it shouldn't be... We should just be able to submit it. It, like, showed that we had the objectives complete, but it didn't actually pull it out of our contracts, which is annoying. Let's check something. We should be good, but we're going to look at where our rep is. So, kind of just after the E there. In theory, shouldn't have any issue, because it's all here. We're just going to submit that. Yeah, it gave us a little bit. A tiny bit. Jeez. It gave us something, though. Anyway, back to our contracts. Let's see if there's anything else from Magnus. Yeah. About to say your balance didn't change. Yeah, it's annoying that it didn't actually pull the contract, even though it said objectives complete. But, you know. At least we're able to just hit that submit option. Let's see if we got anything. Oop, Terra to Everest again. Seraphim. This is why Everest is such a valuable part of these loops, but I will not be going back there. Not right now, at least. Could maybe go from Magnus to Pyro, if there's a good enough. Everest to Magnus. Pyro to Magnus. Magnus to Pyro. It's about the same crappy mission. Yeah, there's these two. I mean, you could stack these from Magnus to Pyro, which we could do that, actually. Feeling froggy. We'll see how juicy Pyro's feeling right now. Where was it? Down here? It'd be really nice if there were some senior contracts going that far. Pyro to Everest. Yeah. All right. Well, where was the other experience one from Pyro? Darn it. Magnus to Pyro. There it is. So, I mean, at least doing those two is better than the one to Terra, which was even smaller. Yeah, so we'll get rid of that. And just to show y'all, abandoning still has no discernible effect on your rank. You know, we're still where we were. It's just submitting way under the amount that you're supposed to submit. Alright. Well, let's hop into this box and see if we get these two missions from Magnus to Pyro to load up. It'll be about 1,000 or so SU of cargo, so it should take up several splines. What's up, James? How you doing, man? We are doing some hull seat testing now that we're gone from Everest Station, and we're going to risk it with a stack of experience contracts to Pyro Gateway. Just because going back to Terra is not all that juicy at the moment. Alright, we are loading up fast. Should stack both missions just fine because there's plenty of space. It's only when you get to stacking missions back to back where you're trying to pick up a load, drop off, and pick up a load from the same spot, and then continue. It gets bogged down with all the boxes that are on board. But yeah, this shouldn't have an issue. We got 1 load, 2 loads. Alright, is it saying it's done? Is that it? No, it's still loading, so I'm gonna... Yep. Another cargo box came back, but... give it a second. Cargo transfer complete. Definitely looks like about 1,000 SU of cargo, roughly. About 1/4 of our overall load. So let's set course for Pyro Station, and hopefully there's not a random group of murder hobos out there. Okay.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Yeah, we'll be back at some point. Okay, here we go. Hard to port. Wow, she's rotating kind of quick. Nice. It's one of the benefits of not being completely full. Alright, then hopefully we just get a good little loop from Pyro back to Terra or Magnus. If we can go from Pyro to Terra, that'd be perfect. Kind of a good triangle, you know? Terra to Magnus to Pyro back to Terra. I would love that. In fact, since it's interstellar, we should be able to look at that stuff while we're actually in transit. So, we'll take a look at everything. We'll just kind of, well, we'll start from down here because those missions tend to be toward the bottom. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Magnus to Terra, Terra to Pyro, which is a really good one. Senior rank missions, probably a good way to go. So maybe we'll look see if there's a one from Pyro to Magnus, because then that might be the loop we want to actually do. Well, that's worth doing, I should say. Yeah, Terra to Magnus. So the Terra to Pyro is the more enticing one since it's a senior contract. Let's see if we get any Pyros out. Trying to scroll through each so I don't miss anything. I know most of these are just going to be Lagrange points to stations. Pyro to Everest. Okay. Everest to Terra. Everest to Pyro. Pyro to Everest. See if we could utilize Everest. We'd have some loop options. I just don't want to put us back in Crusader system. Or, sorry, Hurston system. Terra to Everest. We need jump freighters. Go back to my red frog roots. Yeah. Shoot, where are we? Pyro to Magnus. Oh, shoot. We might have our loop. It's kind of right up here in the middle of nowhere. So, Pyro to Magnus, Terra to Pyro, Pyro to Magnus, Magnus back to Terra, which is still kind of low. But it utilizes the senior rank mission mode to get us more XP. Everest to Tressler, Port Tressler. Nice that there was like a double Pyro. Another Everest to Pyro. Jeez, man. Everest is definitely the hub, man. Hurston Dynamics and Everest are just the cargo hub. Terra to Everest. 25 to go. What about 20 minutes? Maybe we'll see about the, because I think that was the only decent pyro mission, aside from maybe Pyro to Everest again. Shoot, hang on. It was that small one back to Magnus. Direct solar, direct solar, direct solar. Yep. Yeah, Pyro to Magnus, that one there. Which, I'll go ahead and grab that so we don't forget it. Since we have plenty of inventory space, I'm not worried about stacking these. There's our D-cell, we're coming in. Yeah, Pyro to Everest. Yeah, bring on that hotfix, man, because, yeah, see, that's the one. With all these Pyro to Everests, then we can go Everest to Magnus with a really big load, and then Magnus to Terra, and then Terra to Pyro with the big load. Once Everest is back in action, we'll have a really good set of contract loops to go into. Yeah. I do not. This is the Erebus, the Class A civilian. It is an incredible Stage 1 and 2 acceleration rate. It kicks the shit out of the Agni quantum drive. Not quite as good as the TS2, but it's a close second. It moves. I've mentioned it on a few different streams, but my buddy Captain Kuza that was in the stream earlier today, we did a quantum drag race with the Agni Industrial in my Caterpillar and the Erebus in his M2 Hercules, and he kicked my butt, dude. We did a 90 gig race from Arc L1 to, I think, Magnus Gateway and back, and dude, he destroyed me. It was great. Ooh, that's a little asteroid there. Let's dodge that. We don't have a whole lot of cargo on this load, so we'll be able to actually decel and all pretty well. Go ahead and full boost backwards. There we go. Double tap our landing grid. Triple. There it is. Triple tap worked. Added you in game, Luke. All right. Sweet. Oh, man. I would not be opposed to that. That would be an incredible... I'll pay you handsomely for it, my friend. I'll give you, like, triple or quadruple market value for that thing. That would be awesome. The TS2 is quite amazing. There we go. There's our box. Yeah, I'll make sure before I get out of here, I'll add you back. I appreciate that, Blade. It's been awesome having you in the stream. It helped me out when everything's going to hell and witnessing the calamity that is everything that happened this morning. All of it. The hours and hours of wildness. Agni equals agony. Yeah, dude, it's funny, man. That cooldown rate's horrible. The acceleration stages are horrible. The only thing good about it is top speed, and compared to the Erebus and TS2, it's just not worth it. I have been converted to the Class A industrial life, the Atlas, the Hemera, and the Erebus for 1, 2, and 3. Again, aside from the military drives. I love me a VK, an XL1, and a TS2 for sure. I definitely appreciate all the years that I ran with those components before they were locked behind contested zones. Alright, gave it a little wiggle. Should start offloading. Hell yeah, dude. Alright, now this is the whole C. This is the Maggie C that I had in the PTU. Just not around Everest Harbor right now. No need, benefit of running in a larger group. Everyone has a few hundred mil now after the last... Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. Yeah, I mean, we ran the hell out of supply or die. I bought a bunch of ships. In this game, I've not really had too much concern with chasing the money these days either. It's been a good time. Hey, it actually pulled the contract. Good stuff. That one actually went through. And now we're... Oh, we're onloading the next one. Sweet. So it pulled everything off and started onloading. Beautiful. This will run us back over to Magnus. I like that it was a pretty seamless transition of stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, again, I appreciate that, Blade. I really do. That means a lot. That's nice of you. That'll be a wonderful addition. Make sure I give you a shout out to the wonderful hauling speeds we'll have with the TS2 equipped. As soon as that grid comes back, we will depart back to Magnus. So what I'll probably do, we're going to run to Magnus, then we'll do Magnus to Terra, and then I'm going to finish with the senior contract, with the biggest one, Terra to Pyro, and we'll call it a day. Alright. Actually, let's get out of here before we start messing around with navigation. Just because of impound police, we don't want to mess with any of that. Make sure we put our thrust indicator somewhere away from any asteroids. Set course for Magnus.
Thank you, and please visit again.
And if we get through these next couple of contracts without much hiccup, then it'll give me a lot of confidence that the fixes to the whole sea definitely carried through. That we're just dealing with, you know, server teething, patch teething as it first dropped. Yeah, it's actually a decent sized load. Yeah, this one going back is, I think, just over 1,000 SU of cargo. But, I mean, that's cool. It showed that if you've got enough space for it, like if you're well under the 4,600 SU cap, when you stack back-to-back missions for onload and offload, it will do the thing properly. As long as the server's communicating well, and as long as you're not doing contracts, like if you're trying to back-to-back offload 3,000 SU and onload 4,000, that's where it can get wonky. So you don't want to do that. I had issues with that in the PTU, and I have no doubt there'll be issues with that here, because the game logic gets confused about what needs to come off the ship first. If it knew really well to just offload first, then onload every time, it'd be perfect, and I'm sure that that will come with further iteration to the system. But for now, it gets jumbled up. So as long as you're well under that 4,600 limit to your ship, you can stack, and you're good, and run, onload, offload, and there doesn't seem to be much problem. But again, I would avoid, you know, Hurston system and Crusader system for now until we get those hot fixes. I probably sound like a broken record. I apologize, but just in case anyone new comes in the stream or might have missed that, that is why we're running, you know, Pyro, Terra, Magnus. And unfortunately, we didn't have any issues there at Pyro as far as, you know, pirates or murder gangs. Doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna feel all sorts of fancy and spoiled if I'm running a TS2 in this bad boy. Last time I had a TS2, because it took like probably a good 1.5 year break from Star Citizen when my life got really hectic out in California working as a traveling mechanic. And I think I stopped with like patch 3.14 and didn't get back into Star Citizen until 4.0 preview was dropping. But it's been really great to be back. Back in those days, we didn't even have the whole sea actually in game yet. And it wasn't hard to get your hands on any of the military grade components. We were all just running with all the power plants, coolers, quantum drives, no concerns. I kind of like that you sort of have to work for them now. I mean, sure, we were kind of spoiled to be able to use them at our leisure before, but it is kind of, it's cool, you know, to have something to work for, have something to aim for. It sucks when it's wiped because you earned it, you worked for it, you got it the proper way. You didn't do what some of the kids are doing with the way they were making copies of components. So it does suck when it gets wiped after you did it the right way, but I do like that at least there's some sort of reward and incentive to go out and do something to get a thing, to get something that you want. That's one of the reasons I try to avoid going too crazy with just buying all the ships that I want, because, well, for one, that doesn't really do well to the credit card. But two, it also takes away the incentive to work for something in game. Like, I really want to get the Hammerhead. I'm going to be saving up like 50 mil to get that. I didn't make quite as much money as everyone else did in the supplier die, because we didn't run it as often. But if I was to count, I probably did come out with maybe 40 to 50 mil. I wasn't also really hungry chasing it. I spent a lot of my time in the PTU testing this boat. More than I did spend in the actual live build grinding supplier die, because once I got deliveries and my org had all the stuff done, I was kind of good. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to run in and load up on cash. In hindsight, I probably could have used a little bit more. But I also knew with how exciting it was testing this ship in the PTU and how well it was doing, that I basically had a money train on the way as long as it works here. Because this is when working properly, you're probably going to be making between 1 and 2 mil an hour easy. Maybe more than that. I'll have to actually, once we get a hot fix and I can do a proper routing, I'll set a timer. Or maybe I'll even do that like tomorrow or Wednesday stream or something. I'll just hit the timer and see how much, you know, we're making and just kind of average it out. Even in a more leisure standpoint with running these smaller contracts between to close the loops and stuff. We'll see how it goes. Well, we are popping in on Magnus, and then we're going to hit Terra, and then do the big senior contract, the 711k Terra to Pyro, before we call it for the day. And we're doing pretty good on time. This has been good. I'm glad we got the extra stream time today. It's too bad that, you know, wife and father are not feeling fantastic, but we got a little bit more time in Star Citizen this morning, so take our wins where we can get them, right? I do like the musical build-up as you're coming into these areas. It's nice. It's those little things you don't think about too often. Alright, big girl, let's get over here. She's still sluggish, but nowhere near as sluggish when you've got a full load. Hit that boost to get some thrust vectoring in those engines. That should be a pretty good ways off the station and not have any issue. Occasionally, I do like to pop into the zoomed in, like, inner thought and scroll forward to kind of see what might be in front of us. I think that's all behind the station, these little asteroids and such. And then down closer, you'll have the little drones that pop in, which those can be a really quick way to end your session. But looks like we're in the clear. With a load, I don't like to go in too much faster than about 300 meters a second. And with this much of a load, yeah, we'll be able to slow down fast enough that we don't need to turn and burn. We'll save that for when we're fully locked in. And actually, we'll go ahead and bring this back. Because we can get the contract from Magnus to Terra set up. It's just one. So we're going to be traveling real light for that. Alright, we got our spawn. Hit the brake, slow down, utilize that vertical strafe decel. It's a lot better than lateral strafing. Kind of just aim toward the box, pop into our contracts since we're chilling at around 43 meters a second. Nice safe speed, we'll bump that up to about 50. Perfect. Let's grab our experienced rank Magnus to Terra mission for like 140k or so. Where is it hiding? There it is. That should be it right there. Magnus to Terra. Good timing. Now we should have no problem offloading and unloading these. Just get down in here. Straighten out a little bit. There we go. Activate our coupled parking brake. Give a little rear thrust. Hands off the sticks. There we are. So we should simultaneously be dropping and onloading. Or maybe it's actually going to do it right. Just offload first and then onload. That'd be awesome. It's nice to see this working though. Really, really nice. Yep, that aft ventral spline's coming off. Alright, starboard aft spline. And now we should start to see onload. There it is. Very good, very good. Alright, so it seems pretty standard actually for it to be starting with the smaller boxes and then it just loads the bigger stuff. And we should be just about done. 400 SEU doesn't take long to fill up. We'll get that grid any second. There it is. Should say cargo transfer complete, which it does. And that's all she wrote. When we pull out of here, the thrust indicator where we want it. Perfect. Kickoff coupled. Set course for Terra. A nice long jump. And Kimmy, how much did you pay CIG to get it to work? Ah, I love that. Oh, man. If you had been here... Oh, Blade. Kimmy doesn't know. If you had been here from, like, 3 a.m. to, what, 5:30 a.m. trying to get this damn thing to work? Oh, just trying to get this ship out of Everest Harbor. Had to use a little arrow to prop it up. Funny as hell. Then the hangar doors mess up. Then we land again, which Blade called. Then we got out of the hangar. And then we got out to Everest Harbor. And we had an issue with it spawning the small boxes and not registering. I pulled those off and it started loading. Everything was looking good. And then the ship just gets stored and we're out in space, headless for a couple of seconds. And so I suck vacuum to spawn at Everest Harbor because I set my med spawn there. And we keep trying to pull the ship and it won't register to Cargo Docking Bay 1 at all. So we back to menus. And then we go back in and the ship spawns at Docking Collar 2 and is haunted. So we go into the ship and black out. Like, I saw, like, black screen straight up the second we board the Hull C. So we're sitting there, you know, talking to chat, talking about member rank hauling missions and everything. A couple minutes pass by, and to everyone's surprise, we actually get repositioned back into the ASOP terminal area of Everest Harbor. And I think, all right, cool. We pull the ship out again. We try again. And we black out the second we get onto the Hull C. So then I had the idea, all right, all the servers are really hunkered down for this aligner mine at Hurston Crusader. A lot of server load, a lot of problems. Let's just go and claim the Hull C out at Terra and just run around between Terra and Magnus and stuff. And since then, you know, it's been okay. We started doing that and we're finishing up. But yeah, it's been wild. This is now, like, going between Terra, Pyro, and Magnus is performing much like it did for me in the PTU, where it was very reliable, very sturdy, back-to-back success. It got me really pumped. And I'm hoping, with a couple of hot fixes, that the live build gets to that same point. Because a lot of the hub for transiting with the Hull C is around Everest Harbor. And it's really impacting your flexibility to not really be able to use Everest without it being just a nightmare of shenanigans. But it'll make for a really great Hull C Failures compilation video that I'm kind of working on in the background with all the funny things that have happened with me in the ship. It's a good time, though. It's a good time. That's what I'm here for. All the testing, all the fun. It's awesome to have people in here chatting about it and their experiences. And I'm hoping, you know, in another couple of days' time that we all are a lot happier with how 4.1 is playing in live. I had a feeling, I told my buddies in the org that with all the crap they were adding for this patch, for the first big patch, it's like, yeah, this is going to break in a pretty big way when it first hits, for sure. But, you know, they're all focused on playability and story-driven content, so we'll see. Hopefully, we get a couple of actual patches that are just purely stability-based and balance all this out versus adding more stuff, because I know technically they're going with not a feature focus, but everything that came in this patch with the Align and Mine event, there's some different things that I would call features. Like to Blade's point, with the different versions of ships that you get from Vicolo and stuff, I would call those new features. Maybe I'm wrong in how I label that. Oh, we're going to have to refuel before we finish our... I don't think we'll make it from Terra to Pyro without refueling. Oh yeah, let me throw my MFD casting up. I took it off when we were in the Connie. Just throw that back on. There we go. So we can actually see our fuel. We might, actually. I don't know if I want to risk it, but we probably could make it to Pyro before we have to refuel. No, I don't know, actually. Yeah, we're gonna drop the load, refuel while we're nice and light. We'll close up the ship and everything and refuel properly so the dock and collar don't do anything weird, because in the PTU, when it was rough like this, trying to dock at a docking collar usually ended in big bada boom. So, I mean, hey, at least I think my spawn is also at Terra Gateway too. You know, worst case, we'll just wake up here. We'll see what happens. We'll drop this off and do our final load, the senior contract from Terra to Pyro, which I've never successfully completed, because the last time I was trying to do this stuff was in live in 402. Because in PTU, I am experienced. I am not yet senior. Yeah, I'm going to refuel. Oh, shoot. You're right, Blade. I forgot. Yeah, we can... Just to... so, yeah, typically, to avoid breaking immersion, I wouldn't do that. But for the sake of not risking blowing up the whole sea, I think I will. I think I'll just hover over a pad and try to refuel. So, should I join you or bring an SRV? Yeah, that might be smart for future streams. Occasionally be like, okay, we gotta dump the load, guys. We got a problem here. Got a complicated order. Oh, it's been pretty good since we got out of Hurston. So for all of my hauling friends, I would do a favor and avoid the places where the main align and mine orbital laser heavy resource material is. Heavy server resources are being taken. I don't know yet how stable Microtech is. It might be a little crowded because, to Blade's point, there's stuff going on over there too for this current sandbox event, but it might not be quite as server heavy as the actual orbital lasers and such. But I think hauling to Lagrange stations and going between like Bygenie and Port Tressler is probably good. Lagrange points are probably fine. Might still be a little weird hitting the Hurston Lagrange points, the Crusader Lagrange points. Just keep that in mind until we get our fixes. Welcome to Terra Gateway. Yeah, and then this one, the station, or the cargo loading is always way in the back. But we're traveling light with this load. Stop trying to calibrate. There we go. So we'll just burn up to maybe 400-500 meters a second. Watch out for these tiny little rocks that like to pop up. Just kind of tilt away from that. Alright, cruising in. Yeah, those SRVs will definitely come in handy for any whole sea pilots that are stranded with several thousand SU of cargo. At least right now, we're traveling light. The Magnus to Terra route is usually really light, which is, unfortunate.
Hello, and thank you for
Alright. Full retro burn. Double tap. Triple tap. Quadruple tap. There we go. Finally got our box to spawn. Basically, you always get your cargo box, which is nice, but you do often have to button mash request cargo landing for that box to pop up. But, again, it always works. Button mash the hell out of it, and that box will spawn. Maybe not with the MFDs or with F11, but if you bind cargo loading to your stick or keyboard and mash that shit, it'll pop up. EU servers, Mount Tressler's been mostly... Oh, okay. Input delay has been like 5 seconds. Crusader and Hurston, normal. What normal can be. Alright. Yeah, and as bad as I had experience at with Hurston, if Microtech is having the issues you're having too, then I would say they're probably all experiencing heavy server resource drag because of this event. So, Lagrange stations and ArcCorp, Magnus, Terra, Pyro, and ArcCorp are probably the places to be if you want to avoid all the server load, because they got those servers dedicated to the Align and Mine areas. And I believe, I said it earlier on the stream, but I think it's like 7 servers dedicated in Stanton and 3 servers in Pyro. It's a little bit different than the way they were doing their meshing in the last patch. Alright, roll jiggle back. There we go. We are offloading. Let's see if it actually pulls the contract. Then we'll go hover over a pad and refuel real quick. And do our final contract. Alright, let's see if it actually pulls the mission. I think only one hasn't. Let's see, alright, objective complete. And there we go, contract complete. Alright, we're going to close up the ship. Let's go find ourselves a pad to hover over.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Don't worry, bud. We definitely will. Alright, and where are the pads hiding here? Let's see. Let's go external to get a better view of everything. Okay, I think I see where they're at. So actual pads versus landing zones. Oh, there's one of those freaking station turrets that'll seemingly pop out of nowhere sometimes and end your session. Oh, there we go. There, I think there's another Hull C using the same method. All right, cool. I'm gonna head to the pad opposite them. Yeah, give them a little flyby. Kind of wish I could honk a horn or something as I'm flying by. Hello, fellow Hull C. How you doing? Looking mighty fine there, buddy. Alright. I don't normally do this because I'm very much all for like immersion and doing things kind of the way intended, but I really don't feel like having a docking collar make my Hull C go away. So we are going to use this method. Try to refuel real quick. Let's see. Do I need to go landing gear down yet? I haven't done it like this in forever. Actually, I need to make sure I get closer. Let's see. Oh, I'm on the pad. Okay. Didn't want to really do that, but just glad you're not getting hit with station police right here. Yeah, there we go. Get that quantum fuel. And hopefully it just actually registers it.
Quantum fuel at 100%.
Sweet. Now we leave. Expand ship. Get that senior contract and get the hell out of here. Kind of head up in this direction. I see another station turret there, so we're going to kind of come off to the side. We're going to grab our... Are we coupled? Yeah, we are. So it's decouple. There we go. Let's get that big senior contract. That one's easy to find because it's the only one listed for 711K toward the bottom of the list. There she is. All right, actually, I want to C2. Haha, C2. All the hauling ship puns. We're going to take a look here. We're pretty much at just before the I on senior. Let's see how much this contract gives us. QT fuel gauge on the advanced HUD is 99% accurate for me. Oh yeah, dude, I totally forgot about the advanced HUD stuff. Let's turn that on real quick. Let's just kick these both on. Yep, Q fuel. Q fuel. Jesus. Oh, what are words? Yeah, looking good. Looks like our fuel's looking good. Alright, we are all expanded. Everything's looking fine. Just saw our landing gear out like a noob. Alright. Let's get into our box here and get this full 4200 load. Why, thank you. Man, yeah, I totally forgot about this advanced... Because it actually, this is sort of the only heads-up display you have when you're in like a snub fighter, it seems. Like the M50. But I forgot you could do this in a regular ship too. Alright, little jiggle back here. Hands off the sticks. We're loading up. Oh, did it do the small box problem? Oh, no, it kept going. It kept going. There we go. There's all that hydrogen. Alright, we'll leave it at that angle and we'll just not touch it. Makes me wonder, man, what the master contracts will be. I am going to try, especially now that I know kind of how the Hull C works well, I'll be able to do these runs and not spend 3 hours in Hurston trying to make this work and actually get some good progress. So that'll be sweet. Get up to master rank and see what's going on there. I don't imagine it'll be much for quantity, but maybe it'll just be more availability for these missions versus the kind of slim pickings you have in experienced and senior. You kind of have to just run the same routes. It's nice when you can maximize your utility of going a certain direction. Like, I wouldn't want to do a 700K drop, and then fly back empty. I kind of keep that trucker mentality. Like, anywhere you're going empty, it's costing you money and fuel. It's kind of how you think in real life. Like, why would you go anywhere empty if you have to? Like, it's better to, wherever you're going, have a load and be making use of the vehicle. And that's kind of what I want to do here. And we are nowhere near fully loaded. So what is up? Transfer pause. Vehicle needs to be stationary. All right, I'll give you a little wiggle, but I need you to fix yourself. Yeah, let's move a little bit. Shuffle. We are definitely not done. Okay, there we go. We're back to loading. Yeah, baby. See a little Hercules going down to their bay down there. It'd be kind of cool if that whole sea came over here and started loading up on some stuff. I don't see him anywhere. I can't wait till we get to a point where we're just seeing like a bunch of whole seas at these stations. How cool would it be? And I'm sure this would come with issues. But imagine having like 2 or 3 whole seas together that are all making the same run. And we quantum jump together and actually get like that 3 ships in quantum at the same time. Man, that'd be sick. That'd be one hell of a screenshot. It also really bugs me, and it's the only spline that does it, but that dorsal forward spline does that little gap in the boxes there. Almost like they messed up and didn't just make that spline fully usable. It's quirky, I guess. Alright, let's get out of here. Take this full load down to Pyro. Oh, cool. That's the icon for coupled. Coupled, decoupled. All right. We are full to starboard right now. That is rough. All right, we're gonna definitely overcompensate. So we're already kind of going against to slow down. There she is. Looking good. Hell yeah. That's only a 52 gig jump? Bro. If there was just a Terra to Pyro, Pyro to Terra, man, that'd be so busted. That's half the distance of frickin' Magnus. Top forward has 2 skew boxes close to the hull. Yeah. Oh. Wow. I never made that connection. That's why there would be a weird gap. That was really stupid of me. Thanks for pointing that out, Kimmy. Totally right. There it is. Yep. There's a little box there, which would not let you use that full space. I'm just stupid. Don't mind me. Oh, look, same there. Oh, look at that. I could have just looked. The little 2 skew box on the starboard forward spline. Yep. Can confirm. Captain Deadwick's a dummy. That tracks. I appreciate you. I've been wondering why it does this forever, and I just never made that 2 and 2. Talk about overthinking something so simple. Wily Coyote managed to get several runs done last night. The only issue I had was the 2 large runs would eat a small handful of... Oh, really? Haven't had that yet. What were you running? Like your destinations? Were you messing around with Everest at all? Or were you keeping it to Magnus, Terra? Yeah, I'm sure you got a good laugh out of that, Kimmy. Hey, you know what? It's cool. I will say a lot of dumb things and make a fool of myself, but hopefully that's part of the entertainment. I think it's good to be able to laugh at yourself when you realize you've done something stupid. My wife can tell you many cases where I've done just that. Yeah, so far on the missions out here, Wiley, we haven't had any issue between Terra, Magnus, and Pyro, I should say. Everest Harbor is a straight-up no-go. It is cursed and haunted right now. The angry spirit of Chris Roberts is all over Everest Harbor and Lurville. And apparently Microtech and Orison and Crusader and anywhere that a line of mine is going on. Yeah, wow, this jump was so fast, dude. This senior contract, I mean, for rep grind to getting through senior, this might be a decent way to do it. If you can grab something small from Pyro back to Terra, whatever it is, something small, and then just run this, because this 50 gig jump with an Erebus quantum drive is quick. Real quick. 2 large MIT runs, the other seems completely just... Yeah. Oh, yeah, so one of those 698K runs is Everest to Magnus, and that was probably your problem, if I had to bet. If it involved Everest Harbor, that's where I would put my money on the issue. We've done several missions between Terra, Magnus, and Pyro, and they've all gone pretty much without a hitch. Even stacking and having some extras, because some of the runs are lesser quantity, like around 1,000 SU versus this bigger 4,200. And a run to Pyro Gateway seemed to eat a small amount on delivery. Oh, well, cool. We're about to find out then, because that's where we're heading with that 711 senior contract from Terra to Pyro. So let's see. We were just here at Pyro with 2 slightly smaller experienced missions. We had stacked 2 of them from Magnus, which it was about a 400 SEU and about a 600. Altogether, it was roughly about 1,000 SEU of cargo. And it took those pretty well. Whew, she is shifty. Back and forth, back and forth. Alright, come on, baby. There we go. Let's get you lined up. And we will do our turn and burn. I'm going to do it right about there. Jeez, she's like drunk. Alright, just trying to look ahead for any potential asteroids that might pop up. Yeah, we are probably like 93, 94% full with this much load, so she's very touchy. There we go, there we go. Just stay on the dang thing, my gosh. Aha! There is an asteroid there, but I think it's behind the station, so we might be alright. We got... Come on now, stupid. Got some small ones. Looks like we generally should be alright. I'll redirect this vector up a little bit. Get up to about 300. I'm really paranoid that something's going to pop up in front of us. Okay. And turn and burn. Hold our compensation. Still looking nice and clear. Good distance. All right. Punch it. Get all those engines moving. The first ship that makes the Expanse style turn and burn actually a necessary mechanic to move quickly. It should time out well. Usually if you're entering at around 300 meters a second and you start burning shortly after the contact ATC, it should be really well timed. You get down to, I usually between 40 and 50 meters a second, and then I'll call the box and start to rotate, and it's typically been right on top of me for the most part. Yeah, there it is. Kind of slow down a bit more and line up. It's also just really fun to do, if I'm being honest. Who doesn't like an Expanse style turn and burn? Alright, really want to see my thrust indicator. There it is. Let's get it over here. Alright, let's see. This will be our final delivery of the day and our final one of the stream. Good timing, Blade. Gonna head off. I'll be on in like 5 hours if you're still on. We can do the trade. Possibly, man. I really appreciate you being here. We'll meet up at some point. I'll make sure I add you back. I hope you have a good rest of your day, brother. It's been awesome to have you in the stream. Help me out. You take care, man. Alright. Let's get down here. Should be popping into that grid. There it is. Vertical strafe braking there. Just gonna come up here. Let's go ahead and hit that parking brake, so to speak. Little vertical wiggle, come to a stop. Alright, now let's see if we do a full offload. Here we go. That progress bar jumped up kind of weird, so there might be something funny happening. Well, let's see. And again, I'll try to get out that video real soon here of the member grind that I do around Hurston, which should be applicable to Microtech from what I'm hearing, which would be good. It can be a little rough with the current state of the game, but still, it'll explain how I grind through member really fast to get to the experience missions, because member can be a little tough, a little time consuming, but I've enjoyed it. I also don't mind the slower pace of cargo gameplay. So far so good. I still see things pulling off. Let's see, we are up to about 2,800 SCU. Do a little wrap around here, see what we got. If my camera will work. Aft dorsal going. Hey, hey, hey. Forward dorsal. Starboard forward. Ventral forward. And then we just got that last little box, right? A little 16 skew there. Okay. So 4210, and then we should see it say 4211 next. Boom. And then we should get contract complete. Bingo. Alright. So I didn't have any issues so far today with cargo being eaten at Pyro yet. Hopefully that's a really rare occurrence for you guys if it does happen. I think I had all my bad luck this morning for the first several hours trying to get moving out of Hurston. So maybe they thought that I paid my dues, so to speak. But we'll go ahead and request docking.
That request has already been granted.
Not the way I wanted to.
That request has already been granted.
That's the annoying thing between cargo request loading and regular docking. The game logic gets confused as to which one you're doing. So I might have to go away just far enough to not register the cargo grid anymore and then try again. Okay, we're out of range, so let's turn around and see. Use a little bit of our boost to increase our attitude control thruster. Alright, we'll fly back in and call it the old-fashioned way. I'll try later today. If you see a whole sea out and about under Captain Lone Star, that's me. Maybe we'll meet up in the verse someday. Awesome, man. Thanks. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, feel free to add me on Star Citizen. It's just like it is on Twitch and YouTube and everything else. CPT_Deadweek. I look forward to the day that we see a whole bunch of whole seas running around, yanking cargo and stuff, and we can all do our imaginary trucker honks to each other. It'd be cool. Maybe flash our lights or do something. Just to say hey. Best of luck to all my fellow Hull Sea pilots. I'm wrapping up. I'm just going to get docked and in the stream there. But, hey, there might be some funny shenanigans that happen in the meantime. So, I'll keep you guys around. Alright, there we go. Now we've got a proper docking port notification. And we'll see. It looks like it's basically going to be aligned this way. Alright, yeah. So, off the port side. We'll put our thrust vector indicator in that direction. We've already got ourselves partially aligned to it, so this will be fast. And hopefully it doesn't make us go boom. Actually, we'll get that pre-alignment set up pretty well. Drop down to about 100 meters a second. This really just makes me wish that Kerbal Space Program 2 functioned the way it was intended to, because, man, I love, like, space docking and all of this. Like, this reminds me of playing KSP. And I had such high hopes for that game. This YouTube channel was originally going to cover Kerbal Space Program. Oh, I got a little too ahead of myself, so we're going to decel and then correct. That was pretty good. Actually, I hit the brakes at like the perfect time there. Got lucky. We're pretty well aligned. We'll just keep it moving right here. We're going to get close enough on our axes to just hit auto dock, since manual docking is still a nightmare. A little bit faster than 3 meters a second. Come up a little bit. Oh, right there. Not too high. Perfect. That should be right where we want it. And we just gotta come forward. Ah, the adjustments. Can be annoying. Alright, we're almost lined. It's going to be... Not quite. We're getting there. And there she is. Auto. Perfect. Please don't blow up. CPO, what's up? Are there still the famous bugs in loading and unloading the goods? So, I know you're coming in late. I'm getting ready to hop off. One thing I'll tell you is get away from Hurston, Everest Harbor, Crusader, those places, and you should be okay. The first 3 hours was a nightmare dealing with all those places. Get to Terra or Magnus and run Terra, Magnus, and Pyro gateways, and you should be good. We did like 3 or 4 missions back to back with no problems, even kind of stacking, drop off, and pick up. Not with the higher quantity stuff, because that can cause some issues, but some of the missions, since there's not like a full big mission loop between all 3, you might have to run 2 or 3 smaller ones that'll give you about 1,000 SU. But those run really well between Terra, Magnus, and Pyro gateway. Don't mess with Everest right now until we get some hot fixes, because the servers are so bad. And it'll just save you a lot of trouble. Anybody who's wanting to use their whole C, stick to the outer gateways away from the mine on a line event. Again, at least until we get some hot fixes, and then maybe it'll get better. But it's been a good last hour and a half of using the whole C, functioning very much like the PTU did. It's just, yeah, those server constraints around the main planets with the event are rough. But that is going to do it for me here, guys. I need to get my food together and get out there and get to work. But I'll try to get the hauling video up soon around the member rank grinding on planetary side. And then, yeah, probably live streaming again tomorrow, same time, 3 to 5, before going to the gym. Today was a bit longer just because it worked out that way. But thanks so much, everybody, all of you that have been with me this time, chatting, giving ideas, talking about everything.